Also, I don't think giraffes have Adam's apples.
What, do you have to be inclusive with animals too? Fuck that shit.
Actually, would a giraffe's Adam's apple be at the top or at the bottom of the neck?
Ooh.
Yeah, I got shit to do. And I'm not pausing today. I'm not pausing this fucking recording
I'm good.
in any way, shape, or form. You say that now.
I got a bucket.
You better not. I mean, there's a coffee mug right here. It's like, nope. People it's like the point was to make fun of people who do it, and then they're like, hey.
Now everybody works from home.
Yeah, now we're all overweight pieces of shit who work from home. As I sit here behind my computer desk. Fat as shit.
They're doing a live action Voltron.
Not interested. But no, I don't care.
See, I enjoyed
I don't care. No, but I'm saying stop doing live action. How have we not learned from the horrible bullshit that was Transformers?
Or Power Rangers.
Their information, but actors' names, you cannot see the
It's been a lifelong disability, man. I can't remember actors to save my life.
I'm starting to think like it's a syllable thing.
For the past, next week will be 18 years I've been married.
Uh-huh.
My
Still
wife
don't know her name. It's 2 syllables. You should be okay with it.
But
me.
Idiot.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots, and a sexy body full of tats.
So the other night during the live stream, I had to change a bunch of audio settings. So I don't know where anything is today. Like, I set it to how we normally have it. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean that's where it was. Where is, was, now, be.
Has been.
Yeah. Will have been. Will have not been. Okay, so because I thought I blew out my headphones on Friday. Because, like, I forget which song it was. It was when we were doing the verses. And it was somebody else's version of Parting Glass. Mm-hmm. The mix was so fucked up that they got to the instrumental and it was just booming loud for like no reason.
Oh, wow.
I didn't mess with volume or anything. And like it hurt my ears. So like I had to crank it down. So because there's volume control here, and output volume control here, there's so many different, and not to mention the actual computer output itself and YouTube outputs. There's 5 or 6 different ways to adjust the output volume.
Yeah.
And so I'm starting messing with them, and then like any bass I was getting, it started sounding like in my ears, and I'm like, fuck, did I just ruin my fucking headphones? So I actually grabbed yours from over there just to see. Yep. It sounded clearer after that. But then I also started messing with stuff, and I had to install a couple of different things just to see like Dolby Atmos and stuff like that, because this didn't have like all the same stuff I had on my old computer.
So you went down a rabbit hole?
Well, I went down a little rabbit hole of like, okay, why does everything sound so strange comparatively? I thought it was just the headphones.
Yeah.
No, it was part of the audio processing. So I might have to fucking pay like $15 for everything to sound good.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically to license out the Dolby EQ, basically for everything to sound better.
So at that point, will it pretty much take over?
Yeah. Everything will sound better, because just on this thing, I can only control highs and bass on just the listening ability, which I did do the other day. So I was messing with it live. Oh, but it was a mess, dude. It was hard. Like the back half of that stream was really hard balancing volume properly, because some stuff just sounded like ass and things like that. But we did do the Parting Glass verses that I mentioned. So I sent you my version of Parting Glass. Did you listen to it?
Yes.
Okay. What did you think of that?
I liked it.
Okay. So
there's not many versions of a lot of people's stuff I don't like. It's just got to be really bad or not my taste.
Well, we could make that happen. No, because we did a Parting Glass verses before, and I was reminded of what we did.
It was what, High Kings and who else?
No, we never heard of High Kings before, ever. So it was, we did the Wellerman version, which I sent you. Mm-hmm. We did the Hound and the Fox with Peter Hollins, and then Peter Hollins by himself.
Okay.
So it was a rare occurrence of someone competing against themselves in a versus. Mm-hmm. And I know there was another one. I just don't remember which one it was. Because that was a big versus. We don't usually go above 5, because if it wasn't for it being a 3-minute song, we wouldn't have done 5.
Yeah.
We usually stick to 4. If it's a longer song, we do 3. So this past Friday, we did your version, the just Hound and the Fox version with no Peter Hollins, and then the reigning champ, which was the Wellerman. So if we've seen it before and everybody voted on it before and it won, it goes on.
Yeah.
And then if we bring in new challengers, it goes last. So anything we've already heard goes last. So the ultimate outcome was the Wellerman won, followed by the Face Vocal Band.
Yeah.
And then sadly, that was the one I was just talking about that had the horrendous volume problems in the middle of the song for no reason. So now I see why they did the one with Peter Hollins, so they could fix it. Yeah. but I stayed up really fucking late Friday. Like I was in here watching either other versions of that song, messing with the music output, or watching reactions. Like, so I finished the stream at like 10:15. I didn't leave this room until like 11:40.
That's not bad.
I got to be up at 6 to go to work.
That's on you, bro.
Yeah. But what I'm getting at is like, I get up at 6 on Saturday to go to work. I mean, I don't go to work till way later, but I get up at 6 to get shit done, you know, be able to have my coffee, go to the bathroom, come in here, edit some videos. 'Cause usually that's where I edit the Patreon podcast. And then if I need to get out the latest episode of the uncut, it's usually when I'll do it if I haven't done it yet, which is what I did, because I realized the last uncut had some issues that I missed in the edit. I made sure I didn't fuck it up this time. Plus, I've added a new thing to the show in the edit, and it's Count Dankula saying "in the business."
In the business.
That's what we call foreshadowing, because earlier in last week's episode, I said something about your peeing. He's like, I don't want to have to stop for your peeing and might mess up the show. I said that at like 17 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I added that in there, and then here we are, like an hour in, and then that's when we had that horrible problem last week.
Right.
Where we didn't record a good chunk of fucking episode.
Let's not do that again. You are recording, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I started recording 7 minutes ago in 11 seconds.
Very good.
Yeah, so I titled the uncut "Jeff's Bladder Broke the Podcast." In the very literal sense, you broke the podcast with your bladder. It's like it doesn't know where true center is, but it's fine. And you're wearing green again, which makes you blend into the background.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. I'll turn that light on for you.
There you go.
Turn on the Halo Tall Flight. So actually, on that note, just real quick, because there hasn't been a lot heard about the Halo future of the Halo video games, because after
I've heard absolutely nothing about Halo for the past 10 years.
Yeah. So Halo Infinite was the last one they put out, and it was abysmal. Like, low ratings. Other than the versus or the multiplayer mode, like that's the only part people kind of cared about, although it wasn't a giant update. I saw last night or this morning, kind of blend in. Apparently 343, the studio that has been responsible for Halo for the last 4 games, is no more. It's been renamed Halo Studios, and will be different people will take over production under that new name.
Hopefully it's people that are actually fans of the franchise.
Yeah, because they took it in such a strange direction with the last 3 games. Like, I mean, they had to continue the Master Chief story somehow, but with the way they ended Halo Infinite, of course, it's an open-ended game because we set up for the next game. But then that was so open-ended, especially in the lore case, because they're like, hey, this new major existential threat to the universe has been discovered. Thanks for doing that, Chief. And then, okay, we're just going to let that disappear. Basically like the biggest bad that ever was. Like, because, if you're unfamiliar with the Halo universe, this is the second go at the universe, because it was wiped out before because of the flood. They basically nuked the entire galaxy. I say universe, galaxy, and started over and replanted life all over across different planets. They seeded new life. They restarted humanity because humanity was part of the problem back then. So you had the Forerunners and humanity, and they clashed at some point. There was a massive war because humanity became almost equal to the Forerunners until they created the Halos. Then they basically had to go to war together because of the flood. And then, they basically betrayed humanity and restarted them back to cavemen and buried all remnants of their old technology and shit.
No.
So, I mean, that was a good part of the lore that was added into. But now the Forerunners are totally gone. And I forgot the name of the old threat. It's like shit that the Forerunners were worried about. The reason why they took on the mantle of responsibility for the galaxy was because of this old threat that they locked away.
All right.
And so they're the ones that are being released. So it's just like, okay, cool. As if the flood wasn't bad enough, now we got these other guys who are a big enough threat that the Forerunners are concerned.
See, I think I stopped playing in Halo 3.
Yeah, well, that was like they weren't even into the major lore
Yeah.
of Halo yet in there. So
Yeah, there was years and years I didn't even touch a game console at all, period.
yeah. So it got interesting around Halo. Halo 4 was a weird one because that was the first, like...
Was that the Fall of Reach?
No, that's just Reach.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like, no, it goes Halo 3, then Reach, and then Halo 4.
Okay.
Then Halo 5, then Halo Infinite. Instead of calling it 6, they called it Halo Infinite. But, and then Halo Wars was in there, or Halo Wars 2 was in there somewhere, which also played into Halo Infinite.
Well, which game was it where you were basically the infantry?
What do you mean?
Which one of those games was it where it was focused mainly on the infantry soldiers, not the guys in the powered suits, but...
Well, ODST
Yeah,
is the only other game where you were not a Spartan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. So that's one of my favorites.
Really, it's good?
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun game. You play as an ODST, which is an orbital...
So it's simply Call of Duty in space.
Kind of, but you're following in the wake of what happened in Halo 2.
All right.
So it's a misnomer. It shouldn't be Halo 3 ODST. It should be Halo 2 ODST.
Yep.
Because it takes place immediately after Halo 2 diverts from Earth. So when the Covenant opened the big ass portal in the sky and everybody flies through it and there's a giant shockwave over Mumbai, you take up immediately after that. That's where the game starts.
Okay.
So you're going across the streets of this city with the remnants of the Covenant that are left behind that are still looking for something. It's a little bit weird. They introduce a bunch of other stuff, like the engineers.
They know they're looking for something, but they don't know what they're looking for?
No, you don't know what they're looking for. But actually, it could also be that the Covenant... Because the Covenant were basically all just different races from different planets that have been conquered and are made subservient to the prophets. Mm-hmm. So they weren't... It's like if they didn't realize at one point, humanity didn't realize that the Covenant weren't one race of aliens. There were several. You had the Sangheli, which those were the
it was basically
elites.
a whole bunch of conquered client species.
Apparently. Yeah, basically. And they're all different warrior races. You get the Grunts are one species, the Brutes are another species, the elites, that's the Sangheli. They were the real intelligent high people, everything else like that. So the fact that they were enslaved was impressive, So the idea is that they were still looking for and taking action on Earth, even though they kind of got what they already wanted. Mm-hmm. But the fun part with ODST was just that you were part of a team going around together. Yeah. And that's the one that had Nathan Fillion, Adam Baldwin, and a bunch of other guys.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Nathan Fillion's character, Buck, actually comes back in Halo 5 and 6. Because he comes back as a Spartan.
But that was a big surprise.
Yeah. Well, because the fun part at that point was that they had figured out how to make Spartans out of already existing people instead of having to build super soldiers from the ground up from babies. Mm-hmm. So they figured out how to just basically...
And hell, at that point, Buck already had a bunch of combat experience.
Oh, yeah, long.
So that lent itself to him having basically getting over a learning curve really quick.
Yeah, because ODSTs were like basically the Marines of... that because it's orbital shock drop troopers, so they're dropped from orbit into wherever the battle zone they're going.
Helldivers, gotcha.
They're basically helldivers. Yes. So they get dropped from orbit and they crash to the ground and they have to go do whatever the thing is you got to go do. So, but that game was fun, but it did tie into Halo 3 because there was stuff that I think it was called the Vidmaster Challenge. It was seven challenges that you and your friends had to do to unlock the recon armor. And so that was the most stressful, several months of my life because some of them were. One of them was like, just play this game of 7 rounds on the 7th day of the month, and you're good. That was an easy one.
That was essentially a badge of honor.
Yeah. So basically, but you were getting different pieces of the armor to build it out, basically. So you get like the greaves or the helmet or whatever. So you could complete it eventually, and it wasn't on a time crunch. It was just you had until whenever, until the servers basically stopped doing the thing or they stopped supporting it. But it was me, my buddy Aaron, my buddy Bill, and you've probably met Bill. You know Red comes to a lot of the breweries. Yeah, that's her husband.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then my buddy Shane. Shane was just along for the ride. The rest of us, had accounts, had Xbox Live accounts. I had 2 of them. So I had Shane playing as one of mine, and then the rest of us were either playing remotely or we were all in my apartment. I set up on multiple Xboxes. And on Friday or Saturday nights, when we can afford to be up all night, that's what we would do. We would do the VidMaster challenges because some of them were like, complete this level as a group, nobody can die, and you have to do it on hard mode with this particular other thing done. Or you have to get through this level and never pull the trigger once. You literally have to clear this. You have to clear a level.
So you're just speed running through the whole thing?
Yeah, but you can't pull the trigger at all.
No melee, no nothing.
No. Well, melee is a different button. Okay. So the people had already figured out how to do it.
No bang bang.
Yeah. So you could do it, but you could do it only on a vehicle because that's a horn or boost.
Really?
So you could pull the left trigger for boost and whatnot, but you couldn't pull the right trigger to shoot. So if you could get on a ghost by doing a beat down and a steal, you could use the ghost just to plow everything. So if you can get somebody, if you get 2 of you in a warthog, 1 of you on a ghost, 1 of you on a ripper,
you can get it.
You all have to get it.
Oh, wow.
You have to complete it. Everyone who's there has to get through it. Because I think those had to be 4-man teams. You couldn't do that one on your own.
Okay.
You had to do it as a team. So you either had to find other people online who were willing to go along and were as good as you, or have buddies like me. So, and only, like, none of them were really, like, online multiplayer versions either. Like, there was no get however many kill streaks in a whatever type match, that kind of shit. It was a couple other things, but, so that was actually really, really challenging. And one of them was, like, get through 20 rounds on this thing. Like, basically, it was, you guys are set up, it's survival. Just go as long as you can.
Yeah.
But you had to get through it with nobody dying 20 rounds, and it gets harder and harder. So each round had like 5 stages to it. And so you had to go so fucking long. And it was on any of these levels. You could do it on any of them. You didn't have to pick one, but it had to be this type of game.
All right.
So we picked this one level where we had high ground areas, and we played it enough to memorize the drops, what enemies were dropping when, what caused them to go wherever, and when the weapons would drop, so that we could time it. So, like, okay, we need Spartan lasers here to take down this thing as fast as possible. Get your rocket launchers, hop back up here. Okay, as soon as this next enemy comes down, you need to get down there, and you guys get on the Warthog and go around and missile a few things. Then you hop back to safety. I mean, we had it down to a point. We did that about, 35 times until we finally cleared it. And, like, thank God we were doing it all at the same time, because if we ever had to go back and retry it for someone else, that would have sucked ass. But we got that fucking good at that game. So, I mean, that's just the fun gameplay of what Halo used to be. And it stopped being that, like, a long, long time ago. And I was talking with Andre about this. I think it was Andre. Saturday night. And I was like, what killed Halo for multiplayer was getting rid of the multiple people on one screen.
Okay.
As soon as you couldn't do local multiplayer anymore.
See, that was fun.
Yeah. That took all the fun away.
Well, there was the Halo parties.
Yeah, you got Halo parties.
We did Halo parties during my deployment constantly.
Yeah, on the old 360s.
Yeah, they're a blast.
Yeah. And if you had multiple people with multiple Xboxes, you do LAN parties.
Oh, I bought my first 360 while I was overseas and came home for, I think, 6 months, got the Red Ring of Death.
Yeah, I mean, you see all mine.
Yeah.
Well, those aren't even all of mine, because I had my original white one, got Red Ring of Death about 8 times, because I kept fixing it and, it dying on me. Then I had a black one that I left with Tara when Laura and I broke up, so she kept that one because I had 4 fucking Xboxes. I didn't need one more, and I got that one on sale for like 100.
So you look at Xboxes and go, I'm going to buy that. And I look at Xbox and go, for that, I could get another car part or gun or.
Well, I buy the Halo Xboxes.
Okay.
So I only own Halo Xboxes.
Really? Even the new one in there?
Yeah, that's Halo 5.
Okay.
Yep. I did not get the Halo Infinite one because that was incredibly limited and in the middle of COVID. And then people started charging $2,000 for it.
They buy 6 of them and
yeah, and that too. And so you turn around and then not only did they have the Infinite one, they had the 20th anniversary one, which was even rarer, and people were charging stupid money for. So I was just like, at that point, I give up. But that's why I have those on display because they look good.
Well, so you said there's the Halo universe is going somewhere. They just don't know where.
Well, they set up the story and then they ran out of gas.
Okay.
And then also people ran out of interest.
Well, I saw a new article today with a new story I'm excited about.
Okay.
They're doing a live action Voltron.
Not interested.
Really, I am. They just cast a
Nope.
kid named Daniel Quinn Toy as the lead.
Yeah, that's
Tom Holland's understudy.
yeah, he's Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Is in Spider-Man also. But no, I don't care.
See, I enjoyed
I
the
don't
series.
care. No, but I'm saying stop doing live action. How have we not learned from the horrible bullshit that was Transformers?
Or Power Rangers.
No, the Power Rangers live action movie in 2017 was abysmal because they changed too much.
Yeah.
The original ones that tied into the show but didn't tie into the show were good because they were just an extension of the show.
Yep. I'm still going to go, much like here in a few weeks, I'm going to go see the new Venom, which you're not interested in.
I'm interested in it a little bit, but I didn't even see the second one.
I liked it.
So the only
Let There Be Carnage was great.
So the only reason I want to see this one is because I want to see how they do Null, the symbiote god, because he ties into the future of the Marvel universe.
Although the glimpses you got in the trailers, you look like a giant demon amoeba.
Yeah, he's kind of a giant. Well, I mean, he just looks like a dude in a big Venom suit and like with a red spider kind of emblem on him, and he's got pale skin, red demony eyes, and long white hair. But we've already seen his weapon, like we have. You haven't because you're only beginning your Marvel journey.
I haven't even started it. I plugged in that thumb drive, and some files I get audio, no video.
Oh,
I don't know what's going on.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, right.
Audio, no video. That's odd.
So I'm going to try it on my tablet tomorrow night. See what I can do there.
What kind of player are you running it through?
Just media player off the.
Try VLC.
Is that a download?
Yeah.
Okay.
VLC can usually do every format. It's probably a format problem. But no.
It might be a rewrite problem too.
In Thor: The Dark World, not Thor: The Dark World. Thor 4 / Love and Thunder, the one that shall be named. We see the weapon of Null in our Marvel universe. So the question is, will Null come to our universe to reclaim that weapon somehow? Because that's the only thing that's interesting. Because they're speed running the King in Black story when the Marvel universe isn't anywhere near that. So I don't even know what they're going to do about that. So, yeah, I don't know. But I'm not back to Voltron. No, it's like we leave cartoons as cartoons unless they're close enough to just people that are strong and doing things. Like that's one reason why Power Rangers can be done, because it's just dudes wearing spandex suits, and then you have a person in a robot suit.
Well, I'm still going to check it out when they finally finish with it.
I think
I'll tell you how bad it is.
I think it will be garbage because they have yet to do almost none of the 80s cartoon reboots in the modern movies have accomplished anything.
Well, what'd you think about the Netflix reboot of Voltron?
That was
still a cartoon.
Legendary Defender was fantastic. Yeah. I mean, it was really slow, and people were actually pissed. It was
really slow.
People were pissed at the beginning of it because it changed a lot. And I mean, it changes a lot in general. Mm-hmm. But the idea that like Voltron is like on a cycle in a way in the universe is interesting. But I don't want. I'm so tired of live action fucking things that don't need to be live action.
Well, see, I'm finally getting into watching new stuff now, and I'm just like, what's this? What's that? I'm just curious.
And that part's fine, but Hollywood has just got to come up with new fucking ideas.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you right now, they're going to redesign Voltron to look really fucking stupid. It's gonna have the same basic shape, but there's gonna be like hyper real details on the lions and all this fucking nonsense.
If they just take it and hot rod it out, I think it'll look good.
They don't know how to just do a little ever, because they have to make it their own. I mean, if you want to just
throw the blues and the pinks and the greens, throw those all to metallic, pinstripe them a little bit.
I think it's just going to be stupid.
Yeah.
I think ultimately it's going to be stupid. They just want to have a spectacle, and they just want to snag another fucking IP that they can run into the ground. And, you know, it's just like, this is why it doesn't work. It's like, you take a fantastical idea, and then you go too fucking stupid with it.
Of course.
It's like, and that's why I said the Bayverse is the pinnacle of you shouldn't have fucking touched it.
I thought they were going to do that with a movie I fell in love with. It was Love and Monsters. Did you ever catch that one?
I did not, but I knew of it.
Oh my goodness. I thought it was going to be garbage, but it was outstanding.
Was it?
It was a great show.
See, I heard a lot of people did not like that.
That was a good story. It was fun.
Yeah. I don't know.
And Mary Poppins, he was in it. I can't remember the actor's name from
Michael
Guardians.
Rooker.
Yes, him.
You remember so much useless other information, but actors' names you cannot seem to pin
It's
down.
been a lifelong disability, man.
Yeah.
I can't remember actors to save my life.
I'm starting to think like it's a syllable thing.
For the past, next week will be 18 years I've been married.
Uh-huh.
My
You
wife
still don't know her name. It's 2 syllables. You should be okay with it.
But
Me.
idiot. But no,
That's your last name.
my wife is one of those that always knows the actors, and when she can't figure it out, well, who's that? Who was that actor? Who was that act? For
I know, and you
18
just
years-
throw out Tiger Woods and whatever. Yes, I know. You've done it to me. It's
God.
annoying. If you're not going to be helpful, don't do anything.
She gets so mad still.
But no, it's so funny. Like the amount of information you do manage to store, and then the amount of stuff that just bounces right off. Like David Lucas, how you can still not remember David Lucas's name.
You got to prioritize.
Okay, but you remember everyone else on stage, but David Lucas completely goes out of your brain. For some
Sorry, I
reason.
like the dude.
I think your brain is racist. You just don't like the black guy.
Stupid brain.
You can't remember the black guy's name.
I remember Cam Patterson.
Barely. I think barely. Fucking A. All right, well, let's get started here with the episode here of the Now You Made It Awkward podcast, episode 114. We're like legitimately,
114, man.
we're 27 minutes in and we're only just starting the episode.
Yeah, fuck, we're going to be all night.
Now we won't. There's not that much to talk about.
Oh, yeah, you have things to do, don't you?
Yeah, I got shit to do. And I'm not pausing today. I'm not pausing this fucking recording
I'm good.
in any way, shape, or form. You say that now.
I got a bucket.
You better not. I mean, there's a coffee mug right here. Don't do that.
We're going to need like 6 of those.
Yep. Either way. So, guys, I am Shoky. You can follow me at all the Shoky-related links down below, whether that's Shoky Reviews 1 or 2, or the It Doesn't Have to Make Sense reaction channel. But, of course, guys, make sure you do that like and subscribe thing to this channel here on the YouTubes or over on the Rumbles. Or if you're following us on any of the audio platforms, make sure you like or follow or download the things
Or
and leave
share
us
it.
a
Send it
rating.
to your friends, family.
Yeah, do that, actually. That'd be great.
If you know any
'Cause
other inappropriate assholes, send it to them too. They'd enjoy it.
That's all of them. Yeah. Speaking of inappropriate assholes, here's Jefe.
Hi, how you doing? Jefe, I am.
Yes, that is a Jefe, and you can follow him at Cry Havoc Kitchens on the Instagrams.
On the Insta, yes.
Yes, I'll make sure I have that pop up come up right over your face, and then yes, and then of course, guys, if you want to write into the show, you can do so at NowYouMadeItAwkwardMail@gmail.com. I remembered it this week.
There you go.
But I mean, you guys won't, so it's fine. But also, you
It's
can.
down below. You can look it up.
That's true. You can just copy and paste it over to your email app.
You can also follow us on Facebook at Now You Made It Awkward Podcast. You can send us a message, send us a voice message, ask us questions as our buddy Shaun does constantly. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes, indeed. And we'll be listening to Shaun's question here in just a minute, but I'm going to actually remember to promote the Patreon before I do that, where you can see the full uncut video
Give
version.
him money.
Yes. Actually, I just had 2 freebies sign up. One is a long-term subscriber to the It Doesn't Have to Make Sense channel. So I think they're signing up for like the 7-day free trials where you can see everything on the Patreon. So guys, you can do that if you want to come check out the Shoky Patreon. It is in the link down below. Come check it out. You can get the full uncut video version of this podcast where you can see me yell at Jeff for peeing. By the way, I did add the we'll pee right back.
We'll be right back.
I added that card now, so that does exist. So if we have to use that in the future, that's fine.
So you get to see all the random goofiness we don't put out on YouTube.
And or me setting up cameras,
Yeah.
or sometimes conversations that I have to completely remove.
Or sing-alongs that we start doing for no reason at all.
That only happened the once, and we won't talk about it.
Oh, bullshit. It's going to happen again.
If you want to hear us sing Shania Twain for a little bit, you can check that out. I think it was on episode.
Hey, that made my heart
I
happy.
think that was like episode 97 or something like
Yeah.
that. By the way, I looked at it. You came in at episode 83.
83?
Yeah, so we're at 114.
I thought it was 84, but yeah.
Nope, it's 83. 84 was the Get to Know Jeff.
Okay.
No, actually, 84 I think was our Dune 2 review. Then Get to Know Jefe was
Oh,
the
that
next
was Angry
episode.
Day. Yes.
Yeah. So I think 83 was your first episode ever. 84 was a Dune review, and then 85 was Get to Know Jefe.
Okay.
Which, people ask questions. Speaking of asking questions, I do have comments over here from the YouTubes. All right. And most of them, of course, are on our taste test videos because nobody comments on our actual episodes.
No, not at all. They like our taste test, though.
Also, I do want to shout out Dormammu for being in the chat Friday whenever I premiered the episode. So he hung out in the chat talking for a little while.
Oh, sweet.
So Dormammu came and hang out. So let's see here. On the Poor Osos one, which is the only one that really gets comments because everybody hates or loves Tom and Bert so much. Sad Emma Neal says, I'm not a fan of Tom or Bert, but if they put out a decent product at an affordable price, I'm all for it. They did.
They did. It's good.
They did. He's drank a lot of it. I have yet to finish my one
I
bottle.
picked up another bottle earlier the week.
I did have another brown Russian the other night. It was good.
Is that what you call it?
Well, no, correction. I did make it a white Russian. I just added some creamer.
Okay.
Yeah, I added some sweet cream to it, so that was good.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go take a brown Russian here in a bit.
Please don't. I just bought toilet paper. Okay, so YG Mets said, dude, it's so much better than Tito's, and I got a free hat. Lol, is there THC in this stuff? So I replied, I don't think so. And he said, no, seriously, it's the smoothest vodka I've ever tried, and if my favorite comedian, Segura, makes a few pennies even better. And then for some reason he said, so, with point dot.
Well,
Oh, okay, so he meant to type so, and when he put an A-N.
yeah.
Guys, hold on. Look at me right here. Look, come here. You can edit your comments. Right click on the thing, or there's a little 3-dot menu. You can edit your comments. You don't have to type in a correction later.
There you go. I'll argue that for a minute. It's not the smoothest vodka I've ever tasted, but at that price point, it is the smoothest vodka at that price point.
Yeah.
At least that I've experienced.
I would agree with that as well. It is definitely it is a really easy drinking vodka, but also tastes
Good on its own on the rocks.
because vodka usually doesn't have much of a taste, or it has a crappy taste.
Yeah.
Wow, that just like
Bloop.
there's like no way to put dark mode on for stupid Facebook Messenger here.
What?
Like just like the business end of Facebook does not have a dark mode for some reason. I don't know why.
That's stupid.
Like if I'm actually looking just at Facebook, yes. But I'm on Meta Business Suite right now to watch this. That's why I'm suddenly very lit up. Which, guys, if you are on the Patreon, you can see this. But likely after Shaun's message here, we'll be cutting out.
What's Mr. Love got for us today?
No clue, but I bet it's gonna be loud.
Question for the pod.
Question for the pod. Hey, what's you two's guys' favorite game to play when y'all were a kid? Not like just by yourself, because we all know what favorite game that is, especially with boys. But I mean, like, when you're with your friends or your family comes in and you all get together and you want to play a game, like hide and go seek, tag, fucking whatever, kissing cousins. I'm not here to judge. I'm just asking, okay? Just want to know what y'all's favorite is. Don't worry about mine.
Okay, that's an interesting question there. I know later in life with family gatherings and stuff like that, we started playing a lot of dominoes. Mm-hmm. I would still not consider myself good at dominoes if I even remember the rules when we're doing it. The very simple, I guess, chicken scratch rules. I'm guessing. I forget which domino games are which because there are different ones. But just where you're trying to get 5 points on every edge of the thing. Speaking of which, we have a dominoes event happening at church. Not this Friday, but the Friday after.
Yeah, be polite. Don't be slamming them bones.
No, but it was my idea. So 'cause apparently I'm the idea guy.
Of course.
So I came up with the idea for a bowling thing, And then I came up with dominoes and dominoes. So we're going to be having pizza and playing dominoes. I came up with it. So apparently I'm in charge of it. It's like, they're like, hey, by the way, you get to be in charge on the night. I'm like,
why?
Okay. And it's like, thanks, I guess. The guy who barely, I'm going to be learning how to play dominoes on the internets.
Stacking them up and pushing them over.
Exactly. Exactly. My question was, do we have enough dominoes to play with? Because I don't even know. But that'll be on the 18th. So, and then this coming weekend, we're going to Renaissance for Jessica's birthday.
Good.
Yes.
Well, I'll be there in the next month or so.
Yeah. But either way, let's see. Other than that, I mean, like when we were kids, like we would just do basketball or whatever out in the driveway, like actually games. I mean, like we'd bust out Monopoly here and there. You know, big enough games that you could play with several. Because I have a fuckload of cousins, so it's like we had to play games that everyone could play. You know,
ours was we had lawn darts for a while, and those were
until you
great.
lost the one cousin.
No, those were fun.
We missed him.
No, we didn't.
We miss him now.
Hit him square. Football. We did a lot of football, a lot of touch football and goofing off.
Yeah.
Even carried on to my my extended family when I got married. We played football, goofed off. Last time we played, we were out there hanging out, and my dog Bandit, my big American Staffordshire, became permanent defense.
Yeah.
So every time they hiked the ball, he would try to tackle the crap out of whoever had the ball.
That's a word for it.
He got Luke square, knocked him flat on his back, knocked the lung air out of him. He was sitting there, couldn't breathe. I went, Luke, you okay? He said, I'm dying.
That happens sometimes, you know, kids get hurt. No need to cry about it.
A little sternum rub. He was all right.
I'm trying to balance the freaking camera. It's not exactly where it's supposed to be. There we go. It's off. It's been off center.
But hell, as kids, I moved around so dang much. I didn't have a whole group of friends. So I was just me and whatever dog we had wandering around and goofing off. And
Well, because you already come from a blended family as it is. Like how, like I just said, like I had a fuckload of cousins.
I wasn't a blended family. I was adopted at 3 days old, and that was my family.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like you came from a different family. So the family you came into, how many cousins or anything else like that do you have? Or
We were never
siblings?
That close. I have one sister,
Yeah.
but cousins weren't that close. Still aren't that close.
Really? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I guess that happened.
Well, we were the black sheep that moved out of Texas and bounced around.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Well, what about like for like any birthday parties and you got friends coming over?
Friend.
Okay.
Birthdays weren't a big deal to me. Still aren't. I'm turning 40 next month, and I'm doing nothing. I'm working.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we didn't do anything for my 40th at all. Like, didn't even celebrate. I think
I'm just hoping the 40 shows up. I'm going to get out of the bed, fart, throw my back out. Just something awful.
That's just how you do it.
Yeah.
Just don't lay down that day. Can't throw your back out if you ain't laying down. Speaking of which, my back was really bothering me this morning. I guess I was laying. I have a bad habit of laying twisted, like because I got my leg pillow and then I've like got my regular pillow, and like in the middle of the night, like I somehow like twist my body, and like when I wake up, I'm like, oh god, like what the fuck am I doing? Or I'll straighten out my lower half and leave my upper half twisted, so I'm like this, or I'll lay on my back. When I lay on my back, it's okay. But like with the CPAP on, it's like hard to figure out the good sleeping position because like I'm a side sleeper by nature, but the CPAP doesn't fucking like that. You know, I even half crushed my hose apparently the other day. Fucking old man problems.
Right.
I crushed the hose on my
I'm getting where I'm using it less and less. The more weight I'm dropping, the less I'm having to use it.
You should probably still use it.
Well, sometimes I don't.
I mean, without a sleep test, you should probably do that.
Fuck that. I don't have insurance.
Yeah. Well, get insurance.
No.
I mean, the government's just giving out insurance.
I don't qualify.
I mean, blah, 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 blah. Affordable Care Act.
I was born here. I don't qualify.
No, Affordable Care Act is for people like you.
Sure. I don't want anything this administration
Or AARP
offer.
or something. I don't know. I know that's not actually insurance. I was making a joke. No, I mean,
I got 15 years for that happens.
yeah. Well, who was it that just joined AARP?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, you just told me last week you joined AARP, which I didn't even know was a thing.
That's to get discounts.
Yeah, I know. Apparently, I need to do such a thing. Because I'm over 40 now. I should do that. Shaun's over 40 as well. So, either way. But yeah, I mean, that's back to the gaming thing. I mean, that was basically it. Like, I mean, yeah, okay, so younger days when our parents were still in okay shape, we would do yard volleyball. You know, everybody had a volleyball net in their yard one way or another. Yep. We put one in the pool, and that's how so many people got fucking hurt.
You know, we never did the card games, the dominoes, table games, any of that, just because that wasn't our thing. We were we were outdoors people.
I'm thinking about bringing dominoes tonight to men's group and just like, all right, guys, let's get a fresher. So we got 2 weeks. We got 2 weeks to get good at dominoes.
Go for it. But yeah, it was never big. I don't know how to play gin, bridge, cribbage, any of that.
No, the funny part is what I should do is go join the group at Burger Fresh who is there to play dominoes. They actually get the private room.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to play dominoes. It's a fuckload of old people.
Can you help me?
And be like, hey, I need to get good. Can y'all help?
I need to suck less.
Yes. I mean, it's not like I can't.
You won't get good. You'll suck less.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the hard part is like I just don't. There's not a strategy yet. Like I don't know the strategy of it other than play the best domino you can. I mean, like I don't know what other strategy you can get, right? But there is something to it. Like make sure you play the right thing.
Dominoes is easy. Large stuffed crust.
Well, medium stuffed crust. Can't afford a large in this economy.
Well, usually a large becomes dinner snacks for 3 days.
I feel like extra large pizzas have actually kind of dropped off.
Yeah, no giant.
Is it me or or do I just not look for an option?
Well, we're not in New York. The New York has their New York style that's huge.
Yeah.
Pieces like a two-hander.
Yeah. They make like 48-inch pizzas and cut them up, and you're eating about a slice. But I mean, like we do the quote-unquote
one
New York
slice
style.
is like 3/4 of a pizza.
It's like 1.5 pounds of just pizza.
Yeah.
For one slice. And it's usually like the shittiest stuff you can possibly get, but it costs $2, or at least
if you throw your napkin on it and it gets greasy, it's okay.
No, you rub it up against the wall and you can see through it.
All right, Homer.
Simpsons reference, yeah. It's like, I don't know, it's fish sandwich, might be healthy.
Nope. Woohoo!
The bird smacks the wall. Look, Homer gaining several 100 pounds to get on disability so he could work from home was a fucking ridiculous episode.
Yep.
Turns out that was just prophetic. It's like nope. It's like the point was to make fun of people who do it, and then they're like, hey.
Now everybody works from home.
Yeah, now we're all overweight pieces of shit who work from home. As I sit here behind my computer desk, fat as shit. Let's take this podcast on the road. Literally. It's like we have to go somewhere because this is bad. Maybe if I move my mic, I'll sit center screen instead.
We'll have to have a walking and talking episode where you just walk.
God, that'll be a pain in the ass. Almost literally. Well, I mean, there's no good way to record that. I mean, so I did film a review with the new lapel mics. Mm-hmm. The hard part is, unless you're wearing a collared or button-up shirt, it's going to be real fucking difficult to make sure it stays where it's supposed to. Because if you're wearing like a collared shirt or a normal shirt like I wore the other day, the collar line is way the fuck up here, so it's like pushing into your fucking Adam's apple. And also, I have not edited the footage, so I don't know what it sounds like yet. That's the problem. There's no instant replay. There's no instant listen back. Now, technically speaking, I think we could use it here if we wanted to, because I just got to replace this thing with it. Mm-hmm. Just plug it in right there. And in theory, we could do an episode that way, but all of the audio would be coming through a singular input instead of our different microphones. Right. So that would be weird.
Well, but save that more for if you ever want to do like a fireside podcast or something like that when it cools down.
No, I'm going to use it for whenever we're in the kitchen.
There you go.
Because I could plug it directly into the camera. But the question is, am I going to have the same technical problem I was having with my other microphone where it just cuts out at 20 minutes for no reason? Mm-hmm. So that's what I have not been able to go look at. It shouldn't, because I don't know if that's a setting on the camera that's like, hey, the battery's running down a little bit, cut this thing, it's the only thing drawing power. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's part of the problem. I'm not sure, because that other microphone is powered by whatever it's plugged into.
All right.
These things have onboard power. So in theory, that won't be a problem. The only issue I have, so I used it the other day for a test into this camera right here, and I clipped it onto that cold shoe mount because it actually, so it doubles. It's a clip, but if you just extend it a little bit, it slides perfectly into cold shoe mount. But it's got a little springy cord that puts a lot of tension on that fucking USB-C, so a little scary.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, so I got to figure out maybe if I can get a regular longer cord without any tension on it, I feel better about it, you know. But it was legit, like, even from here to here, like this, what is this, not 3 inches?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like pulled so fucking taut. It was annoying. technical problems here. So, I mean, but, I'll edit that footage. I'll see if it's any good. If this sounds good enough, then we'll start using that when we do anything in the kitchen.
Okay, that'll be great.
Unless there's 3 of us, in which case I have to
Odd man out.
do it. Well, I'll have to just go the old-fashioned way. Because even the Pick 6 video that we put up, or the Rank 6, I always call it Pick 6.
Yeah, the audio failed like after 10 minutes, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, it was about 20 minutes, but it was 10 minutes into the actual show.
So, and was the rest of the audio off?
And well, I mean, that's why I said I was glad that the other camera was rolling, or else we would have had nothing.
Yeah.
So the drinks camera was the one that got all our audio. So you can hear every clink and everything that hits the desk or it hits the counter very loudly. And then, of course, because I had no idea that the audio had failed, when I opened the fucking thing by the microphone, there's no noise because the microphone's off. So that's actually funny. So that is an issue, but I think it's never happened before. But I think it's just some type of setting on the camera phone that I'm using, I'm thinking, is what the actual issue is. Okay.
Yeah, you're dragging ass like I am today.
Well, I mean, I slept really good last night, but like I said, my back was aching this morning, so I had her put the 10 unit on.
I've been going solid since probably Saturday when I woke up. I don't think I've stopped going.
Well, so Saturday night was Beast Feast with the church, with the entire church assembly, as it were, and that didn't end until 9:40, and that was all the way in Tomball. I still had to drive all the way back and drop off Jamie and Andre. So I didn't get home until 10:30 or later, and then stayed up after that with Jessica for a while. And then I was playing around on my phone, watching videos, and I was just wired at that point. Like it was a pretty hype situation. I mean, like, dude, they produced, like, they put a lot of effort into the actual media with it. Like, so in between each segment where they did a little bit of a message, they had a video recorded with like stock footage of the thing, because the whole thing is like a big call to action. It says, "This is war," basically like us as Christian men going to war against the enemy, but also being powerful leaders in and of our own self, not letting the world drag us down into bullshit, that kind of thing. You would have really liked it. Like, honestly, like the messaging, not to mention the just military theme. The dude who was leading was an ex-Marine. Well, sorry, there's no such thing as an ex-Marine. Apologies, gentlemen. And some ladies, I guess. the few ladies. But it was a good time, and the food was great. So the pigs that I got to watch cooking on Friday tasted really good.
I like a pig bacon.
I will say that there was a couple spots that had some, I guess, a little bit too much burn going in, and they tasted a little bit bitter. Because one issue they had with the pig, like the full pig that they didn't realize they had way too much wood centered, and it got up to like 500 degrees for like an hour. So
instant crackling.
It got very, very, very crispy, and then they spread the fire out to the corners of the thing and treated it like a 4-way oven. And so but they cooked that whole pig in 12 hours. They were expecting it to take like 17 or 18.
Oh, I'll take smaller pigs that'll fit in my cabinet smoker. I'll quarter them up, and I'll just stack them in there in the shelves, and same thing. And
the other picture I sent was the quarters of the second pig. So one of those pigs, from what I know, was shot by one of the guys in the church who went out on a hunting trip with that particular pastor. So that was his pig that was killed. They didn't just buy one. And then they did, another guy shot, I think it was called an Urdu or something like that.
Aoudad.
Huh?
The Aoudad.
Aoudad.
Yeah, it's a little deer.
Yeah, it was kind of a deer with little spiky horns.
Aoudad, yeah.
Yeah, because they were saying it different.
Real dark meat.
Yeah.
Almost like a purplish dark meat.
Yeah, and they turned that into burgers.
I've had some. They're good.
Yeah, and then we had bison sausage.
Yeah, we went on a game hunt years ago, and some guys there just wanted the trophy, and they didn't want the meat, so we helped clean them and process them. And you want the meat? Sure.
Yeah. So
I came home with, I think, an Axis, an Aoudad, a black buck, and more Axis.
Yeah, because you can hunt a lot of those crazy deer here in Texas now.
That was
well, I mean, it's been a while, but yeah.
It was out in Junction. It used to be a ranch owned by Exxon.
Yeah.
Where they'd send all their higher-ups and all that for the big hunts. But someone else bought it from them. But
but then everything is still there.
All the amenities are great. Commercial-grade appliances everywhere. So I jumped in and started cooking.
Yeah. Damn, I threw it away. But I had the flyer for the safari guys in Africa, so you could actually price it out. Oh boy.
Yeah, no thanks.
Well, it was surprisingly affordable, considering, because it's a big game ranch that they have down there. So, luxury everything, and then they take you out to go hunt the thing that you signed up to hunt. And they have the different packages for however many days, like 5 days, 5 big whatevers, was $14,000.
The only thing I want there is a Cape Buffalo.
Yeah, so you can hunt a Cape Buffalo.
I want one bad.
They
are some of the meanest friggin' bush tanks you've ever fucking seen.
Yeah, so they had a male and a female package, depending. Yeah. And so you could, if you wanted to hunt a bull, you can hunt a bull. If you wanted to hunt a cow,
sadly, a lot of the because of those hunts, the trophies are getting smaller and smaller. They used to have capes with 8-9 foot spans on their horns, just massive.
I mean, I think the big thing is that they're not hunting necessarily in the wild; they're hunting on their preserve.
Yeah.
So at least the wild ones are just living how they want to live, or getting killed when they get killed. But at least where they're doing these kind of more trophy hunts, it's more focused on that area. But like, the cheapest package I saw was like $3,800, and I was like, that's full accommodation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for like 4 days. So let's go to South Africa, hunt the things on the list.
Try not to get kidnapped or jacked.
Well, I'm gonna guess within their game preserve, they're pretty well equipped. But they've got like expert level hunters. Like the guy was there who owns the place and stuff like that.
I've read my entire life, I've read books by an author named James Capstick.
I like how you moved and then moved again.
Right? Shut up.
You're like, I'm going to move over here.
Capstick
and then move
was
back.
a legendary hunter. He wrote for Guns and Ammo and a whole bunch of publications his entire life.
Yeah.
And one of his jobs was a cull manager. He had to go cull animals that were either being problematic or being overpopulated.
Yeah.
So it was elephant herds.
Yeah.
It was troops of baboons that were overpopulating, raising hell.
Fucking baboons.
Dude, I hate gorillas. I hate apes. I
have no problem with gorillas in particular.
I don't know. Something that big and strong that can run up and rip your fucking face off.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that.
Well, I mean, it's either that or they're going to gore you with horns or teeth. So, I mean, like, most animals,
but they can't look at you and be angry before.
Well, they're only angry because you're on their territory or you killed their mate.
They just unsettle me.
Sorry, I was picking up this.
I see.
I was stepping on it. Bubble wrap. That was from the package.
So that was your weekend, huh?
Well, that was part of it because like we were dragging ass so bad on Sunday morning. Like me in particular. Like normally I'm the up at 7 no problem guy. I woke up when it was still dark, went to go pee, came back to bed just basically completely out of it. And I didn't wear, my big mistake was not wearing my CPAP Saturday. I should have. Dude, I would think I was awake every hour.
Yeah.
Like it was bad. And then like I was ignoring how bad I wanted to pee. So by the time I did go pee, it was damn near hurting. And so I laid back down, didn't even want to look at the clock because if I'd looked at it, I wouldn't have gone back to sleep. And then Jessica finally stirs and she goes, oh, fuck, it's 7:30. Because, like, the bedroom is, like, fully lit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And so she wants to go shower, like a normal person would do. I don't even get out of bed while she's fucking showering, dude. I'm, like, damn near got back to sleep by the time she actually gets out of the shower. Now, mind you, we have to be at church at 9 for setup. So we normally leave at, like, 8:40. So we have time to grab some coffee on the way, and we get there right as everyone gets there, and we help set up. I'm part of the crew. Fuck.
Yeah.
We didn't leave the house until 8:52, and we still had to stop for breakfast and coffee. We just
shit. My weekend wiped me out.
Dude.
I was destroyed.
Yeah.
Woke up Saturday. Saturday's my day off, so I woke up around 2
p.m.
Yes, p.m.
Okay, just confirming.
Yeah. Geared up and hung out at the house, worked on a few things. Then went to my extra job.
Gerb.
Yeah. I'm never gonna live that down.
You need an extra Gerb shirt. So you need a shirt that looks like a Legion shirt but says extra Gerb Jefe.
Anyway, I did that.
What?
And then after I got done at the Legion, Amy and I met for a late night date night, and we had one of the best nights we've had in a very, very, very long time.
They had all the sex.
Just that happened.
Good.
Then it reminded me of when we first started dating.
Yeah.
Because she was happy, she was giggling, she was laughing. We just had a blast just being with each other.
Yeah.
Got to bed around 5 a.m. Woke up at 7:30.
on Sunday morning.
Yeah,
So we woke up roughly the same time.
Tried to sleep again,
Why
napped for another hour or so, and
Stop it.
she decided we wanted to go to breakfast. So we went to the Magnolia Diner down 105.
Nice.
It was good. And then we picked up some stuff from my
is it-
camping trip. And by the time I got back to the apartment, I was beat. I didn't get any sleep.
Yeah.
Worked all night last night. And by the time I rolled up to the apartment to finally lay my head down, I was shaking. I was so damn tired.
Yeah. Because
of you,
What?
I only got 4 hours of sleep.
it's not my fault. You said we couldn't do Tuesday. I said,
We
okay.
cannot do Tuesday.
There we go. So we have to do today like normal. Today's our normal day.
Jefe needs jet day off.
Yeah. You can go camping. You fucktard.
Fucking A, going camping.
So I was going to ask you though, because I haven't been to that Magnolia Diner in forever. Has it changed any, or has it gone downhill?
It was delicious. I had chicken fried steak,
Yeah.
eggs, hash browns, grits,
So
toast.
I used to go to the old Magnolia Diner in Magnolia.
Yeah, the one on 1488.
Yes, but it closed a million years ago.
No, it's still open. There's another one in there.
No.
In that little strip center.
Nope.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, no, the original Magnolia Diner out there closed.
Not the original. There's another one.
Nope.
And if you keep going past the railroad tracks, there's that Kitty's, and it's really good.
Don't think that's open either.
Fuck.
Pretty sure that closed down a long time too.
Well, it's been a long time since I've been out that way.
Yeah, clearly. So because I started going to the one out
I
there.
know it used to be good.
Yeah. So, well, I know at one point they kind of diverted from each other a little bit. Like, even though it's Magnolia Diner, like for some reason, the one in Montgomery.
Well, we don't have any good greasy spoons around here. We have Waffle House, but we don't fit in the booths.
That's fair. I mean,
We fit, but we're.
I still like Burger Fresh breakfast, but that's me.
Yep.
The prices have gone up though.
What I miss is the
accordingly.
Huddle House.
I never went to Huddle House.
Huddle House was Willis. It was great.
Yeah. Why did they close that? Was it just not busy?
They weren't getting enough nighttime hours to justify being open 24 hours a day.
Well, most places have that problem. Yeah.
But they,
If you're not McDonald's.
I don't know. We geared up as a family. Lucas, father-in-law, Amy. We all got in the car.
Yeah.
And let's go to Huddle House. It sounds great. Amy was all excited. She was happy.
Because it was in the corner of
Yeah.
that old Kroger.
By Tractor Supply.
Yeah.
We roll up and they're shuttered. Everything's shut down. We're closed.
Yeah.
Amy proceeds to get mad
Yeah.
and yell at me because she's mad at Huddle House for being closed.
Well, you know what's funny is like the first time I saw Huddle House was off 1960.
Her dad finally, would you quit being such a bitch?
Finally, somebody said it. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding, Amy. Don't kill me.
She doesn't listen. You're good.
No, it would be the one time,
Right.
Because she's in a good mood. But no, just on that subject, you know, after our discussion last week, I'm glad that you guys got to have a good date night.
Yep. We won't be talking about the discussion.
No, that's fine.
Nope.
But like, because I was telling you earlier that Jessica and I had a couple arguments this weekend. Well, actually, the shit we did have an argument on Sunday after church, and it was so stupid. And look, we're all fallible in our own ways. And hers is she has a memory issue. It's part of her lupus. You know, they do have lupus fog where you just kind of in a daze sometimes.
She gets a little loopy.
And then, and then other times just nothing gets committed to memory. So as you're aware, we are lacking certain pieces of furniture out there. We've needed a family table or a dining table of some sort, basically since we moved here. Mm-hmm. But the space is not very big.
Have you looked at some of the expanding options?
Oh, let me finish. So we have been shopping for tables since we moved in here. We've been here 2.5 fucking years. We have not found a table that will work within our needs and with our price range.
Have you gone to the American
I'm
furniture
getting there.
place?
That's what we fought about. So first we tried IKEA.
I'm gonna
then
shut
we
up.
tried Amazon. Yeah, let me finish the story. Maybe you'll get the exact answer you're looking
Tell
for.
me your story.
we even went to Willis Rustic Furniture when
Yeah,
they
yeah.
were closing. They had a table that was really close to what we needed, but they were a little too firm on the price considering they're trying to do clearance.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you drop that $100 and include those chairs that you basically can't sell, I'll fucking take this out of here and I'll grab one of those rentals to fucking run off with it. And it'd be like, that would have been worth
And
it
they went,
to us.
no.
And they said no, and then it was still fucking there when they had to shut their doors.
Yeah.
I'd be like, well, you should have fucking knocked $100 off. We'd have fucking taken it off.
You're
your hands.
lost, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. So we did go to America's Furniture Warehouse.
That place is
whatever.
great.
It's great, except when you're looking for a very specific size and style of anything. It's great if you have no care in the world and infinite space.
Right.
Because we can only max out at like a 38 or 42 inch table, round, mind you. And yes, having something with a leaf would be great because we could just make it longer to let people sit in it, no problem. But once again, we're very short on space. That 5-foot table out there that we use for episode 100, you can see how much room that takes up.
Right.
And that's 5 by 3, or not even. It's 5 by 30 inches, I think. So we went over there. We spent several hours over the course of a couple of weeks in that fucking store looking for a table and chairs, of course, that would suit our needs and be within budget. Now, mind you, we have our settlement money, so we have a slightly higher budget than we used to. Mind you, we're still trying to keep a budget because we don't just need to blow all that fucking money.
I'll do some looking around tonight at work, and I'll send you some ideas if I come across them.
Well, I've got plenty of ideas. The hard part is getting said things in here because, I don't know if you noticed, there's 40 stairs.
You find something you like, I'll help you move it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I don't want to carry anything at all.
I have a badass dolly.
I want to pay people to bring heavy things up my stairs, is what I want. So the argument was, what happened is we were driving up after we got out of church. We're driving around the loop. And she's like, maybe we should go check out America's whatever warehouse because they deliver. And I admit the way I said it was a bit rude because I said, we've already done that. It's like we spent a lot of fucking time in that store to come out with nothing because nothing fit our fucking needs. And she's like, well, I didn't remember talking about that. I was like, how do you not remember the fucking afternoon we spent in there going to every single table they had? Every table. We went to every single table that was
really?
Except for the obvious ones we weren't going to buy.
Yeah, the big great room tables.
The giant great room tables and shit like that weigh like 700 pounds and cost like $14,000. But like, it's like we looked at like the high top one, like that a high top round one that was the right width, but we wanted that width on a lower base. And they're like, do y'all have that but in this height? And they're like, no. It's like, so I can't get that tabletop on this base. It's like, you're telling me you can't just go take the fucking screws out and swap this over and make a nice table for me? And they're like, no, sorry, we can't do that. We sell them as is.
Good grief. I'm
just like, okay. And a square table just takes up too much fucking square footage, pun intended. So it's like a square or an oblong table. So we want round because it's easier to fucking work with. And we gotta have chairs that won't take up too much space because we still have to be able to go out the fucking balcony. And not interfere with the recliner. Like it's crowded right now because that other table is there. But once we can replace it with something permanent, it'll be okay. Because before we moved, we had one of those high top tables that would expand.
Yeah.
But it was hand-me-down and it was half broken and slapped back together. So we sold that to one of her coworkers before we moved. So that thing would not have survived getting up the fucking stairs. I can tell you that right now.
Right?
Yeah, that thing would have fallen the fuck apart. Because one leg was being held on with like 2.5 screws. And considering how heavy that thing was.
I got to do some repairs on the dining room table at the farm.
Yeah.
We got one leg that's a little slooply.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind getting a new coffee table or maybe some new end tables and stuff like that because those were all mine that I've had for fucking 20 years. You know, and they were hand-me-downs before that. They were I don't even know how many times that table has been passed through people because my buddy from work is who I got it from for free. And I think it was hand-me-down to them. I think it was a garage sale hand-me-down from them.
See, that's one of the things we're looking forward to if we ever get a house built. Pretty much everything we have in our container, about 80% of it's gone. We're not going to mess with it. It's not coming into our new home. We're going to take this as an opportunity to just get out we've been living in a little farmhouse for 3.5, 4 years now. And if we haven't missed it by now, I don't think we're gonna.
That was exactly what we were at because most of my shit was in storage and then a lot of her stuff was in storage.
I've got her convinced to start off with a very, very Spartan environment once everything's, we move in.
Be very Greek about it.
And slowly, as we figure out what our needs are, I'm going to build pretty much every piece of furniture, shelves, everything in there.
Yeah, building is great.
So it's going to be one of those things. It's going to take a while, and it's going to take years of, weekend projects. But eventually it'll be more of an organic adaptation of what we need.
Adaption.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I'm trying to adjust our cameras because, like, I've got you looking like you're actually in proper light, but mine is still very yellow, and I'm trying to find the balance. That'll work. Okay. So I have a white light on me with yellow lights behind me, and I've got a yellow light on you with white lights behind you. So it's like trying to find the balance camera-wise is not easy. Actually, if everything was yellow, it would make... If I had another... I don't know where the other slipcover for this light exists. I know it's here in the great expanse of this room.
I need to stop looking at that light.
Yeah, that's why I look at me. Don't look at it.
But
Look at it,
it's so shiny.
I know, but like at least it's not the ring light, which I need to trash because I'm not.
It's haunted.
Yeah, it's a piece of shit. But either way, no, it's just. Yeah, so we had that fight. She got really upset with me when we were on our way to HEB for minor grocery shopping, and
She's upset with you or more frustrated with herself?
No, me. She's saying I was really rude at the way I said it to her, and I'm like, we have had this conversation. I mean, we literally spent time in that fucking store and couldn't find anything that was worth our time. And we went there 3 times in like a month. One was to look at just whatever. Twice to try to find either a table or something that would work. We ended up looking at couches. It's like, well, we can't afford another fucking couch right now because those, we have one decent couch which nobody even sits on. The love seat is still okay, except for the broken handle, which is actually the broken handle from her side of the couch. I swapped it out.
Is that for the reclining function?
Yes.
The plastic piece of crap handles?
Yes.
I hate those.
Yeah, so I swapped the one off of the love seat because nobody uses
I'm
it.
only, henceforth, only ever going to have the crank recliners.
Yeah.
Because those don't break.
I'll go with an electric one.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm going to go there.
I don't know. We have those at the apartment. You know how irritating it is to answer the door and you're going, hold on.
No.
I'll be there in a minute.
No, because you're the only one who ever comes over and you just walk in anyways.
True.
Yeah. It's like even when it's locked, you just walk right in.
Housekeeping.
Just fucking breaks the door down and fucking.
Hey, at least I rang the doorbell today and you were like right there.
Yeah, I know. I was waiting on you because you were here 40 minutes early.
I was sitting there goofing off.
I said 2 and he shows up at 1:20. I was like, hey,
Yeah.
You're lucky I drove in when I did. I
would have waited there till 2. I don't care.
I know you would have. Oh,
Kill Tony. I was Kill Tony in a brand new AC system. I was happy.
yeah, new episode of Kill Tony tonight.
Looking forward to that.
Last week's episode wasn't that good.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed.
No, it was okay though. I mean, they can't all be winners.
No.
That's the point. It's random.
Hell, I caught that one where Adam Ray debuted his character, Jeremy.
That was weird.
It was one of the funniest, best videos.
But it was so fucking weird.
It was wonderfully weird.
I think since he was going to be on stage the whole night anyways, his interview didn't need to last 22 minutes.
Yeah.
The interview was way too long.
What else was I watching? It was William Montgomery and Gary Falcon.
Yeah.
Nick Swartzen.
See, the funny thing is I didn't realize who Gary Falcon was until
Really?
2 days after. I was like, who the fuck is Gary Falcon?
God, it was
like,
great.
What gave it away was that Nick Swartzen was on YMH, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like I said, when comedians come through Austin, they hit every podcast. So somebody's on Your Mom's House, somebody's on Rogan, they're going to be on Kill Tony.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, it's pretty fucking easy to figure that one out. I can't wait to see if Corey Taylor ends up on all those, because his episode of Your Mom's House was fucking great.
Shoot, I'm looking forward to Matt Rife coming back. He was great.
He might not.
Really?
Well, I mean, he was also in Austin for this tour.
Wasn't it Matt Rife and like Post Malone at the last one?
No,
Who was there with Post Malone?
not Matt Rife.
No. Anyway, they were fun.
Yeah. But no.
That dude was so nice. He couldn't be mean to anybody.
Yeah, he was trying to. But I watch a lot of Matt Rife clips on Instagram or YouTube's, whatever, because his crowd work is like amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Like his actual like standing there and talking about funny stuff is great, but it's his ability to interact with the crowd the way he does
Or him.
that is.
Or who else does good crowd? Josh Wolf.
Josh Wolf is pretty good at it too. I'm not a big fan of him, but he's not bad. I can not like him and him be okay. It's
Okay.
fine. It's like I don't have anything against him. I'm just not really a fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, he had me laughing.
Yeah. I mean, he can be funny by all means.
Oh, the
But,
one
like,
where he was on shrooms and they just hit right in the middle of the set.
Yeah, you should never do shrooms before going on stage.
Oh, no shit.
Unless you're Joe Rogan. In which case,
Well, apparently you're Wolf, and Josh
Yeah.
Wolf and his son basically had to come out and take over.
yeah, but I mean, like, because Rogan got really, really fucking high right before going on for his special on Netflix, but he had also spent months memorizing his shit. That was one take, and he fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
And not to mention, he had been rehearsing it for so long and memorizing stuff.
And he was higher than a giraffe's Adam's apple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or higher than giraffe pussy.
Well, Adam's apple's higher.
Yes, but they're not all female. Also, I don't think giraffes have Adam's apples.
What, do you have to be inclusive with animals too? Fuck that shit.
Actually, would a giraffe's Adam's apple be at the top or at the bottom of the neck?
Ooh.
Also, what is the point of the Adam's apple?
Well, if you're in Thailand, they help a lot.
I'm saying other than other than external identification of a male at a distance, does an Adam's apple serve a purpose?
It hurts when you get hit there.
Well, it hurts when you get hit in the neck at all. It's like we just say it hurts when you get hit in the Adam's apple. It's like, you mean the throat?
Yeah.
Yeah, that fucking hurts no matter what that does it.
That makes you do an instant Donald Duck impression.
Somebody fucking karate chops you to the throat. It don't matter if you got an Adam's apple or not. You're fucking gagging.
Yep.
Fuck. And then if they follow it up with a fucking chin punch, you're out.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Yep. Sorry, I didn't feel like being conscious anymore. It's okay.
Too old, too fat. Don't fight fair.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's just fuck. Okay, so let me discuss this because we usually wait till the end of the show to discuss TV shows, which I'm going to do now because we don't have a whole lot to talk about today. The latest episode of The Penguin, episode 3.
You've been watching The Penguin?
I like the Penguin. I'm not calling him Penguin because he deserves fucking respect, which he proved in this episode. Holy fuck. So, he's pulled some bullshit and he's scheming on how to come out on top. He's trying to put crime family against crime family and him in the middle as the winner is what he's trying to do.
Right.
It keeps biting him in the ass, but he pivots so quickly and he knows enough shit between everyone's business that he tries to come out on top. This episode, he had to pivot because he got pulled into something he didn't expect and then did his best to work with it, lied his way through it, and then finally forced a hand that he managed to get in the first episode. He just didn't know where he was going to use it yet.
Right.
And it was that this one mob boss or this one mafioso was sleeping with the boss's wife. And there was photos of this that someone else was going to use as blackmail. He killed that person and took these photos. So he finally got to use that in this episode. But when that guy got pissed off at him, he's like, well, who the fuck are you? You're not even part of the family. You're none of this. And nobody fucking likes you. Nobody fucking trusts you. You don't have any real fucking power here. Why the fuck are you even here? Like, the guy who's just been caught in bed with the dude's wife is talking shit to Penguin. And they told him what they needed him to do was call this other dude and be like, you're going to vouch for us because we've got this info on you so that we can set this meeting to sell our drugs.
Right.
Is really what is basically it's an end run thing. That gang wouldn't do business with them unless someone higher up said, yes, we're doing that. So I've never seen somebody actually do this. He takes the guy's phone, shoves it down his in his mouth and starts prying it against his fucking teeth. Mm-hmm. Like, he's got a fucking iPhone jammed in this guy's fucking face, and he's like fucking cranking on it and pushing it into his fucking throat. And like, you can hear the crunching. And you're like, God damn. And he's fucking yelling, and he finally pulls it out of his mouth, and you see the screen is fucking cracked and broken. I was like, he broke this dude's cell phone against his own fucking teeth. I'm like, holy fuck, dude. I was like, it is still like, it's staying good. Usually by the third episode, you'd start seeing it fall off because it's Warner Brothers, so we don't necessarily trust them with everything. But Matt Reeves, the guy who did the Batman, and he's like the Kevin Feige of this universe, kind of. So he's sort of over everything. Like, he's doing a good job, like, carrying on these characters that were set up in that movie. So I actually finished watching the Batman from last week because when you came over last week, I was literally at the halfway point of the movie.
Okay.
So I stopped it. I picked it up again today after watching The Penguin, so I could see the rest of it. And the fun thing is, this kid Vic gets pulled into the situation. He gets caught by Oz, trying to steal his car. So like they're trying to steal his car. His friend gets shot, and then Oz grabs him and he says, "Fuck you. You don't steal from me. You know what? Fuck you. If you don't want to die, you're going to help me right now. I need to get rid of this fucking body." So he ends up getting roped in by Oz and being his fucking right-hand man now. He's just some kid, some 17-year-old fucking kid from the Harlem of that city.
He got voluntold, huh?
Well, he got voluntold at the end of a fucking 45 is what he did. And so because he literally has nothing, his whole family, everything got wiped out in the Batman movie due to the events of that movie, which we got to see in this show, this episode. So we got to see it from the grander point of view and within the plot of the movie.
All right.
Getting to see it as from the point of view of the victims of what happened in this episode and the trauma that is still instilled with them, because it's only like 2 months later. It's like it's only been a couple months since all that went down. So it was cool to see that from a different point of view, because we thought we were watching something that was currently happening, and then we realized, wait a minute, this is the past. We're seeing the flashback to when that fucking happened. I was like, whoa. So it's a really well done show. The only thing that ever like stands out sometimes is some of the CG when they put together like wide shots. It's the only time it gets wonky. You know, like, okay, that's not really there. That's fine. It's fine. I can live with it. It's a wide angle shot on a street, because they got to use like an amalgamation of like New York and Chicago to like build a Gotham.
Right.
So, and then, so basically sometimes the people walking down the street look fake, or the cars in a car chase look fake. Because they spent so much money in the movie making the car chase in that movie realistic. Like, so they had a short chunk of highway to shoot that, and it was in pouring rain.
Yeah.
They've got 18-wheelers and everything else that have to be in that car chase with the Batmobile and the Maserati. So that car chase is fucking fantastic, considering like they're doing it on a very short stretch of road and have to start it over every time. And then they have massive pyrotechnics and stuff like that in the pouring rain. It's really fucking cool. So when they get to the TV show budget and they give you a car chase, you're like, okay, this looks kind of fucking fake.
Right.
I was like, this shit looks a little bit fake, because it's in broad daylight on the street. And I was like, okay, it is what it is, but it's a good show. I like it. It's gritty and something interesting. So do you ever watch Corridor Crew or anything like that? So they break down VFX and TV shows. And
movies. That's completely outside my realm.
They're cool dudes. So have you ever watched the Tiny Guns stuff from the Unsub guys?
Nope.
Okay, watch Tiny Guns, because it's hilarious.
Okay.
But they're the ones who shoot it and usually do the effects work and everything else like that. So either way, because they use those goat guns, you know what I'm talking about? They're like miniature. So they use those as the props for the Tiny Guns episodes that they're doing.
Okay.
But Corridor Crew did an episode the other weekend on how to add realistic muzzle flashes without having a weapon that's actually firing anything. You know, for safety, obviously.
So vaporizer thing and a LED flash?
That's how some people have done it, but that's still in a type of projectile coming out of the gun. When you're not using real weapons in any way, shape, or form, you still want to have that, because you can add the muzzle flash later. But if you're adding the fake lighting from the muzzle flash, it is really fucking apparent. And these guys, because they do a lot of gun stuff, they want it to look as real as possible. So they created a thing that basically it's a sound reactive thing. So when it hears the clicking or any type of clapping sound, it flashes a light that's on the scene. So it's lighting directionally the way you want it. So they created that on Corridor Crew, but clearly didn't realize HBO had something already in the bank to do that, because behind the scenes on episode 2, where Penguin is like flinging his machine gun around, they show that it has like a light up module at the end of the gun. And then also they have the same type of situation where the lights are flashing along with the gun. So you're getting a light at the muzzle point, and they just basically have to replace that, but the light's still there. But then they also have a scene light so that you get it on all the cars and everything when he's shooting the gun in the scene. But due to situations like what happened on the Rust set by accident, trying to use blanks, where people have died, now they're coming up with the idea of how they can get a realistic shot without having to shoot anything, just pulling a trigger on a not functioning gun. So that's actually really cool technology. But I thought it was funny that so I watched the episode of the Penguin, they showed that, and then Saturday morning,
Only thing they're gonna have trouble with is getting realistic looking recoil.
Well,
Can be achieved through CO2 pushing back a bolt in the weapon itself with no magazine.
If you've got an airsoft gun or a mechanically cycling gun, you'll see the recoil. You just have to teach the person to add realistic recoil.
I think they can do a better job using CO2 on board a purpose-built platform and actually throwing the bolt itself to the rear.
Yeah.
And having that actually push back against you.
Maybe. I mean, it's not a terrible idea. It's just like...
Because at the same time, you could have, dummy rounds. You could see the rounds ejecting, all that stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, they're good enough at adding fake rounds ejecting at this point. It's really that's super simple for them to manage in After Effects.
Hell, you could take that whole barrel, especially like an AR platform with the big barrel shrouds. Nothing but a CO2 tank under there, nitrogen tank.
I'm sure they do something to that effect, but I think they'd rather at this point
this
have
this
no
is
action.
Just redneck Southern engineering coming into play.
Yeah, I think at this point they'd rather have any mechanical function happening versus with the exception of an actuator making sure that as you're holding the trigger you have the right amount of firing happening, but nothing at all is going on other than maybe it clicking. Like they're using airsoft guns, which are perfectly good, but they can use an airsoft gun with nothing in it and just firing CO2.
Yeah,
like the airsoft Glock that I have, it cycles and everything. Even though it doesn't have to. So in that case, yes, if they have gas-powered airsoft guns, odds are they're doing that anyways.
Yeah.
Assuming that they have enough pressure, obviously they can fix that. But rather than holding down like in a whole ass CO2 tank or anything else like that, if it's a very purposeful built weapon for this point, but also this is also for lighting dark. Like most of these things are being done in the dark, which you can't fake a muzzle flash in the dark.
Like, most of every John Wick.
Yeah, exactly. Well, John Wick used a lot of other things.
Yeah.
Which actually one thing they did was making realistic John Wick. So they actually went through the scenes in John Wick 1 or 2 and actually like made it realistic and heavy R. Here, let me focus the camera on you while you're fixing whatever you're fixing.
Oh hell.
I hit the wrong button anyways.
Good job.
Yep. But either way, like there's a point where like he shoots through the wall at somebody and there's like no like dust or anything that comes towards him.
Just a hole appears.
Just a hole appears. It's like, so they added to where there's like more stuff coming through. Some in the headshots, they definitely would have significantly more head burst, that type of action. So, but no, I like Corridor because one, their visual effects reacts. That thing has basically made their channel. Like they did it just for fun because there was like they started out with the Sonic movie because the original trailer looks so fucking bad. Yeah. So ugly Sonic as
I didn't even bother watching it.
That was great.
Really?
Yeah. Fucking Sonic movies are all good. The third one looks like it's gonna be even better.
Knuckles looks funny. More funny.
Yeah, I mean, he looks how Knuckles looks.
Yeah.
Once they decided to make the character look how they look, it kind of solved all their problems. They're like, hey, let's not adapt it to what we think something should look like. Let's just make it look like it looks.
Exactly.
And I was like, we'll just add some because you don't ever see their fur.
I don't know. That was one of the greatest cases of a fan base forcing a production company to change what they're doing.
And I still tinfoil hat that
they did it on purpose.
They did it on purpose to generate stuff because the turnaround for fixing that movie was pretty short.
Yeah.
I think it was like 8 months. So that means the only scenes they actually had done were what were in the trailer. And that was nothing for considering the whole movie.
They might have had one guy going, man, that looks like shit.
There's no way that Sonic fans who were working on this movie didn't say that shit. So, I mean, I think that they put it out there as in, hey guys, look what we did. And then they saw the reaction and they said, okay, Jeremy was right. We're turning this bitch around.
Or that's just more publicity.
But like I said, they only delayed the movie 2 months to get it done, and they only had 8 months to fix it.
Honestly, I think that drove up their opening sales.
It did
immensely
because the next trailer had it fixed, and that changed everything. And Jim Carrey's performance in it is fucking phenomenal. Chris Pine is Chris Pining all over the place. It's fine. And actually one thing they changed was reducing some of the human drama, but not enough. The weakest part of Sonic 2 was the human subplot. If they cut out the human subplot that was just there for comedic sake,
Yeah.
the movie would have been better. And it looks like Sonic 3 might be reducing some of the human subplot because it really needs to focus on Robotnik and the stuff that is going on with that.
If I ever get desperate, I'll give them a shot.
They're good movies. Look, I'm not going to steer you wrong. It's a good fucking movie.
You really?
Robot Jocks is fantastic,
No.
and you're broken.
You horrible, horrible man.
Sonic is the second best video game movie of all time.
Okay.
Mario Brothers movie being the first.
It was so cheesy. I loved it.
I mean, the new one, not the original.
Oh. No, I love the original back in the 90s.
The original one is shit,
That was fun.
even though they reference it in the new one. Technically, they do a tiny reference to the original. But no, the new Mario Brothers movie that they're going to be basing all next Mario Brothers movies off of was fantastic, except for Jack Black. But I mean, it was Jack Black playing Bowser. I think that was a bad call, but only because he had to still be Jack Black.
Yeah.
Still had to do stupid singing and
Well,
nonsense.
that was the whole thing with the Dune with Christopher Walken playing the Emperor. I knew he was going to walk in the shit out of the Emperor,
Yeah.
and he did.
I think he had like approximately 8 speaking lines.
Yeah.
It's like he couldn't. It's pretty easy to do that, but no. I think that the Sonic movie is fantastic. The Mario Brothers movie was fantastic. Gran Turismo, while technically a video game about, or a movie about a video game, not a video game movie, was still fantastic.
Is that the one with the young kid who played it so
Yep.
much he got put on a Formula One track or something?
Yep,
Yeah.
and a true story. So I mean, pretty fucking good. We watched it one Sunday. It was actually really fucking good.
Well, don't some rally drivers use those too? Those.
Well, they had the full ass simulators.
Yeah,
We
the
talked
sim
about
set.
them. Yeah. But this was just that they were trying to get, it was just a promotion for the brand. They're like, we're going to sit here. We need to get more people to play the game.
Who was it? It was Pikes Peak. They were one of the drivers said he just stayed in the sim for months and months and months until
Yeah.
they had it completely memorized.
Yeah. That's basically how it works. But that's how the point of the Gran Turismo movie was these kids have driven these tracks more times than the real drivers.
Yeah.
So let's see if they can really do it. So they brought them into Team Nismo, and they taught them on their actual simulators to drive a GTR, and then put them in real GTRs to see if they could do it. And they only, I think the whole process was like 6 weeks or something like that.
GTRs are great.
Yeah.
To quote Clarkson, the most fun you can have for $90,000.
Well, not anymore.
For real.
But the movie itself was really good, especially by the end when they actually have to go, the kid actually goes into a proper race, not in a GTR. So he has to go from the GTR to the proper, like, not Formula One, but the other cars.
Like Formula E or something like that.
Not E, because E just means electric.
Yeah.
It's the more like World Series, like the big.
Oh, like the Lexus Cup and stuff.
The big cars that don't look like real cars. Yeah, that. So once he gets to that level, because he keeps racing through the season in the movie, and then things happen, you know. And of course he has the rival in real life. So.
Of course.
But I mean, it was a good movie. So as video game movies go, those were good. There was another one that was just coming up, and I forgot what it was. But anyway, the Sonic movies, for adapting some of the Sonic games that people like into a movie universe, has actually been really good. It's just the human side of it that's stupid. But it feels like they're learning their lesson, because now they have to really focus on story. Because in Sonic 3, they have to bring in Shadow the Hedgehog, who is like a huge character from the fucking game / TV series. And his ties to Robotnik and everything else like that. I'll put it to you this way. Jim Carrey retired from acting after Sonic 2 and said he would only come back to do 3 if he thought the script was good enough. And he came back to play at least 2 characters in Sonic 3. So if the movie's good enough for Jim Carrey to come out of retirement, I'm going to say it's a good movie ahead of time. So I recommend the Sonic movies because they're fun. It is just fun. And if you remotely like the Sonic games, it gives you plenty of stuff from the Sonic games. And the voice acting is top notch.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not Urkel, unfortunately, doing the voice, but it's another really good voice actor.
All right.
So definitely recommend that. Oh,
We've had a slow week. Other than being exhausted, it's been a slow week.
Well, did I even mention me putting the tie rods on my car?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Last week, didn't
the
you?
tie rod ends, yeah, but I don't know if that made it into the show or not. You know what? I listened back. I don't even remember mentioning it.
Okay.
I don't think I even got to talking about it, but either way, so I still need to put on the lower control arms that are in my trunk. So I've got those assemblies. So I just need to take a whole ass day to do that, because I figure at that point I'll buy the inner tie rod that I feel like I need to replace, and that's why my steering is wonky. Because it is not fun to shift and the car wants to go a different direction when you push the clutch.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Torque steer. Gotta love it.
It's not torque steer. Torque steer is when you hit the gas. When you push the clutch, there's no torque.
Oh.
Think about how things work.
Oh, so it just wants to wander on its own?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep, not fun. Not fun
Yeah,
at
we
all.
got rotors and brakes to do on the front of the Suburban, and I think Saturday I'm getting a new back glass for the Suburban.
Finally.
Yeah, since the hinge is ripped off, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. So I was looking at car parts and stuff on Modern's website, and I think I want to buy the hood strut kit, because I'm tired of using the fucking tired of using the prop, and they have a hood strut kit that just bolts on. Like,
nice.
You just pull out a couple fender bolts and add a bolt to where there isn't one. And
I'd love one on the van.
yeah, I was just like, I don't think I need. Well, I might as well put both on.
Yeah,
there.
you might as well.
But I was thinking about that. It looks like it's a reasonable price, because I was looking at other stuff too that I just kind of want to do along the lines. And the turbo upgrade kit that I was looking at, I didn't realize what all it came with, because it's like $1,400 give or take. So that's a new turbo.
I thought you were gonna get the lifts first. Thought you were gonna get the lift first.
What lift?
The
No. I mean, down the line maybe, but mechanically speaking, I think I need to get. I want to do the turbo upgrade because it's the turbo, injectors, new wastegate, new map sensor, but it comes with the tune. It comes with the tuner,
yeah.
which is the big thing. So it comes with the plug and play tuner that comes preloaded with a easy tune, and then the amount of money you paid into it also guarantees you remote tuning with the company. So you plug it in, you drive it around, you send the info to them, they'll send back a tune to upload.
I had a
for the
similar
car.
setup like that with Mild Eco Boost F-150.
Yeah.
Went with STV or STP.
Yeah.
And got one of their tuners, their live wire tuner setup. It was great.
Yeah.
It had that 4-door pickup running 0 to 60 in 5.6.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad for a big truck.
Well, you've seen how fast Matt's fucking truck is.
Yeah.
That thing's stupid, which I think I saw him. It had to have been him. I don't know who else it could have possibly
But for
been.
$1,000 worth of upgrades from factory to 5.6, I was pretty happy.
Yeah. And this box of stuff basically bolts on with everything I've got. The only thing I might have to do is upgrade the downpipe if it isn't already upgraded, because I don't know what is in there. But if I switched from a 2.5 to a 3-inch exhaust, if it's already not done, then that's the only real change I have to make, because everything else comes in a box. But that would be 350 horsepower out of just as is.
Yep.
But I'm not sure how much my oil seals are going to love that.
But man, hell, even the van, I need to do motor mounts and probably front suspension.
Yeah.
Because I'm clanking and clacking everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of clinking and clacking everywhere, so Andre has they've got a Ford Escape, one of the newer ones. I think it's 2014. The Escape for you. It has all of the factory problems that they have from the beginning, and
more.
He was telling me about it because he said it was making a weird clicking or popping sound. And I was like, okay, let me hop in the car. We'll do a quick drive. And I was like, okay, that definitely sounds like it's coming from the driver's side. And it definitely sounds like it's your CV axle for sure. And then I was also like, pop the hood, because I know you're talking about vibration problems. And I know one of the major issues with those and the Ford Fusions of the same generation were bad motor mount design, where the motor mount would either shear off or the bolts themselves just fell out from whatever. And it's a front motor mount, so that's supposed to be reducing a whole lot of things. And so I was like, okay, put it on your parking brake. All right, now put it in drive, put it in reverse, and just watching this motor flop all around. I was like, oh God. I was like, okay, well, you definitely need a CV axle. Go price it out. If I have to, I will fix it for you.
I'm hoping I'm not needing any of that, because with almost 300,000 miles on her, it's going to be one thing after another here in the next few years.
Yeah. But what I told him, I was like, look, me and Fords don't have a good history. It's like, if you need me to fix it for you, I will fix it for you. But just know that Fords and I don't get along. It's like, so it might end up worse than it is. Not because I'm incompetent, but it's just the energy that me and Fords have. That's why I can't own a Ford, no matter how much I like them. Like, I would love to have a Mustang, but I just know that I'm going to catastrophically break it without trying, because that's what happens with me in Fords.
See, we do old Fords, cars, but Chevy trucks.
Yeah.
And they work for us.
That's the one thing I have not had is a Chevy in any way, shape, or form.
She's never not got me home.
Yeah. Well, I've just never owned a GM product. Out of every other random shit I've owned, I've never had a GM product at all.
They're thirsty, they're reliable, and they're easy to work on.
In theory.
But
until the modern shit where there's just too much stuff on everything.
Or even the year model after my body style. It was they started introducing the displacement on demand.
Yeah.
And those started just trashing camshafts and
yeah, of course.
everything.
It's stupid. I mean it's great for the environment sort of, but it's stupid in general.
Yep. And my son's been looking at cars, and every time he shows me one, I said, "Does it have a DOD delete?"
Yeah.
The what? I said, unless there's a DOD delete and they have the receipt and proof that it's been done, we're not even going to look at it.
Yeah. Well, just don't buy anything modern.
Well, we're at that point right now where
I'm sorry, you don't have a choice now because it crushed everything else.
We're at the point right now where I'm trying to gear him into getting into something reliable and dependable instead of something fun. Because he's a kid. He keeps looking at square bodies and all the other country kid stuff.
Yeah.
I said, dude, find something that'll AC, something that'll start every time you turn the key. You're starting out for nothing. Right now, safe is your best bet.
Yeah, especially nowadays.
Yeah. I said, and I'm trying to, my goal as a parent is to make him better than me, the man I am.
Yeah.
That's my only goal. And I'm trying to get him to learn from the mistakes I made in the past.
Yeah, but he's just going to make new mistakes that you're not prepared for.
True.
That's the problem. You're only prepared for your mistakes. You're not prepared. You're not prepared for how creative he could be.
The poor
with
kid
mistakes.
was even talking about, hey, when I graduate, I think I'm just going to go ahead and step out on my own. I said, dude, we're not going to kick you out. You've always got a place to land. I said, why don't you pump the brakes a little bit?
Yeah,
find you a job you like. Take the summer. Take 6 months, and
take 2.5 years.
Get on your feet. Just don't take
6 years.
Just don't be still living here when you're 29 years old like your half brother.
Yeah. So like for me, I was in my rebellious phase right around graduation time. So I had a plan to like basically the day after graduation, pack my shit overnight and be fucking gone when my parents woke up in the morning, which would not have happened because my mom absolutely would have woke up. But like I was basically just going to fucking haul off to the other side of the fucking country and never look back. Mm-hmm. And then I realized how fucking retarded that was going to be, so I didn't do it. That, and when I graduated, I didn't really have a fucking plan. Like, I started college, quote unquote, but I was like, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I didn't want to go in the military. Turned out to be a good plan because, 9/11 happened not that short after the time I graduated, and I would not have been prepared.
You would have been in Fallujah.
Yep. Just like people I went to school with.
A lazy Ramadi.
Yep. Yeah, so for like there are guys, I've heard the horror stories from the guys who were in that first wave that went in immediately because
no friggin' armor on vehicles, nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
IED is just decimating entire convoys.
Yep. So I stayed home. I didn't move out on my own until I was 24 because I had fucking no money. I was massively in debt. And I had I had a steady job, but it wasn't making money. I was delivering pizza. Mm-hmm. So and I was modifying my vehicles and or fixing my vehicles. So like all my money went there. I didn't have that much money to play with. It's not like nowadays. Then I started at my job at 24 and once I started making money, I'm sorry, no. So I moved out when I was 24. So I started when I was 22 then, I think. Because I was at my job for a little bit before I moved out because I saved up enough money to get out on my own. And then I stupidly bought a fucking new car. That's what killed my money. Basically having a $460 car note every month and paying rent. But at that point, it was me and my best friend living together, so rent was lower, so I could afford more shit. After our shit fell apart and I went out on my own, I was still making good money, but rent went up by $200 some odd.
Yeah. And now it's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my first apartment was $475 a month.
Mine's
and it was
$650.
Ugly.
Yeah. So my first, what used to be Redford Park isn't anymore. It's called.
I was in a ghetto on where the Honda shop is on 45.
Yeah. Talking about down there by like Belshire?
No, same road that Burger Fresh is on.
Gladstone.
Yeah.
So the other side, though.
Yeah, the other side.
Okay, yeah, those are still there, and they're shitty.
Yeah, and
Yeah, they're still shitty. So I was on the opposite side. I was behind Burger Fresh.
Okay.
So I was behind Burger Fresh, but I mean, our 2-bedroom was $720. I think.
Only benefit of living there, that Montana's bar that was still on the right on 45.
There's a microphone there. Yeah, don't do that.
But that Montana's bar was right off the freeway, and it was walking distance from the apartment.
Yeah.
You know, I was young and stupid.
Yeah, I guess. But so I moved into that apartment, and it was by myself was $625 or something like that, which I could afford at that point. But within 4 years, everything went to shit with the economy. Wasn't making any money. Still had to make a car note. Still had bills to pay, and lost the apartment with 1 month to go on the lease. I said, "Fuck it, I gotta go." Mm-hmm. And I told them I was leaving. And so I moved back with my parents, and then they carried me for a while.
I wasn't single too damn long. I met Amy in 2005. We were married in 2006. We had Luke in 2007, and we moved to Cut and Shoot in 2009.
Yeah.
So
but
I've kind of had a purpose. And
sort of, But I just, nowadays, man, I mean, as long as Luke has some form of direction.
He really doesn't. And I'm trying to. One thing I told him, find a job out on a rig, out on a crew, doing something where they pay your room and board, and you basically are operating with zero overhead. Do that for a couple of years, save you up a nest egg, and then go either get an apartment or buy a house or something.
Yeah, well, buy a house after the bubble bursts, when everything's foreclosed. Do what everybody else did. Wait until after the bubble.
I told him, you don't have to jump out and be independent immediately.
He's not going to be ready.
Yeah, I said you need to approach this in a smart way and have a plan going forward.
Yeah, because I mean, the thirst for independence is great.
That was me, and I didn't have a plan.
Yeah,
the only thing that saved my ass was the Army. I joined the Army Reserve when I was 19.
I
came back. Started working a little bit, decided working at a bank wasn't for me because I was working at a bank before I went to basic training AIT.
Yeah.
Came back and something happened. I just hated it.
Yeah.
I think
people's the problem.
Apparently you're not supposed to tell an angry customer not to get butt hurt.
Well, why don't you just quit being butthurt about it? Sorry.
No, he overdrafted his account. I said, man, you did this, man. Don't get butt hurt.
Yeah.
And he got mad as hell.
Yeah, my buddy Tyler has worked for banks, and he's dealt with that nonsense constantly. Like, because he was with Wells Fargo for a really long time. I don't know who he's with now.
Yeah,
I think he's still basically in the same.
But I
industry.
left them, went to work for Bison Building Materials on their fleet for a while, and then because I was young and stupid, I got fired.
Yeah,
and then went and sandblasted for a while my application processed, and then I was with the county.
Yeah.
And I was there for 8 years.
Yeah. I mean, like, if he doesn't...
That's a good job for a young man to start doing that has no direction, working at a county jail. Because it teaches you how to deal with people. It teaches you how to stand on your own feet and hold your own no matter what happens. And it's secure. Yeah.
Or it connects you to gang violence, and you do that.
Well, that was fun, too.
Yeah. It's like, you get connected in other ways.
Violence toward gang members? Yeah, I did that.
No, let's not do that. But I don't know. It's like, the problem is I'm not an 18-year-old boy trying to figure out how to get my way through the world. I'm a 41-year-old boy trying to fucking figure it out.
You still don't know what you want to do when you grow up.
No.
Nope.
I mean, at this point, I got to start planning ahead for my retirement in 7 years. It's like,
you haven't even started a career.
It's like, yeah, I don't even have a career. I mean, have
Lord,
a job.
if you keep doing what you're doing in 10 years, you're going to be making great money. But
well, I mean, I make good money for what I do now, but I don't. It's like I'm
going to go full time.
No, that's a dead end. Part time gives you options. Full time gives you a dead end.
Yeah,
you have 3 options as a full timer. One of them is management. The other one is keep doing the same job you're doing till you die. Mm-hmm. The other job is do bigger job. Hopefully that job comes available.
Right.
The job that is now easily replaceable by robotic trucks. Yeah. So stick with a job that allows you to, like, part-timer, you get the same hours. Mm-hmm. You have slightly different benefits that you pay less for, and you have infinite possibility of jobs.
Right.
Because it allows you to do lateral, vertical, and horizontal movement. Like you can go in any direction part-time as long as the
3D
job
employment. Yeah.
Yeah, you can literally go in any direction. That's why I stayed there. It's like I talked to a lot of guys who've been there literally as long as me, if not slightly longer. I'll be like, you made a fucking mistake by going full-time because you locked yourself in. You're stuck on that one career path. I can still go anywhere I want as long as I'm qualified to do that job and the job's available.
Right.
So that's the one reason. It's like I wanted that job mobility because I'll put it this way. A full-time person at my job cannot do my job.
Really?
My job only exists as a part-time job. Full-timers cannot take part-timer jobs.
Okay.
But part-timers can fill in for full-timers. I can do their job.
So if you wanted to and you had to, say, save up money really quick over the next few months, you could take as many hours as you can get your hands on.
Yeah. As long as they're available.
Yeah.
And they can have the excuse to use me. Because that's the one downside, is that because I'm in a specialized job, going into a generalized job is more difficult if there are other people to do said job.
See, that's where I'm at. I'm happy to take on as many different jobs as long as I'm available just to keep working.
But, you know,
And I'm hoping I get more clients. I actually have to, start a company, start hiring people.
yeah, you got to do all the hard work to get to that point.
And then I guarantee you, once if I start an LLC and start employing people, I'm going to be working 7 days a week for the next 3 to 5 years.
Yep. And then you'll also have to be paying taxes on your job.
Yep.
Yep. But I will,
not as much if everybody's running 1099s.
if,
No, that's how I'm going to set it up.
yeah. So the only thing that is shit, I lost my train of thought. What was it?
Movement, work,
Yeah, no. I'm trying to remember the exact thing I was going to reference. Oh,
penis.
no. The thing that is great about my job, because I'm not forced to do any other job but my own, I can say no.
Yeah.
They can ask. They try to force.
The ability to say no at a job is a very empowering thing.
And here's the thing. So there's a guy so there's only 3 of us who do our job. There's technically 4, but the 4th person is a floater at best if they ever allow her to do it.
You said floater.
Yeah. Well, she is a floater. The problem is that I won't get too much into her shit, but either way, she's got herself into too many conundrums that they don't use her when they're supposed to. So the problem is the dude who's been doing our job the least amount of time, I was going to say him the youngest, but he's not. He's definitely the oldest of us. I don't know how old he is, but he's older than me, and he looks like shit. And he's been doing the job for way less time.
Yeah.
Now, he looks like shit because he had a severe alcohol problem and basically pickled himself to death. But the problem is that he came on at the worst possible time. He came on shortly before the major changes to the company a couple of years ago.
So he learned one way and then had to relearn a whole nother.
No.
No.
He came in when old management was around, and their tactic was bully the newbies into submission.
Oh, a bunch of hazing.
Yes.
Don't you love it?
So the particular supervisor he had over him was a cruel and purposefully mean bastard. Like, there was no reason for him to be the shithead he was, other than the fact he was trained to do that at a different location. And
see,
I've
never dealt well with that. I've always hit back.
This is why I never allowed him to be my supervisor. If they ever put him over me, I immediately demanded it be changed.
Yeah.
Because we will change supervisor groups sometimes, just depending on who's doing what where. And because we have 3 people, we don't even fall under one supervisor. They all feel like they can tell us what to do without talking to the other ones. Like, dipshit, I've already got instruction from someone else. I don't have to listen to you. Either way, unfortunately, this dude was under this asshole for like a fucking way too long, got bullied the shit out of by him, to the point is he's so scared to fucking do anything wrong that he thinks he's going to get fired. I've had to fucking, over the last 2 years, I basically had like, dude, nobody's looking out for you but you.
Right.
I might, if I feel pity for you, because you're making stupid fucking decisions, and I will help you to the best of my ability. That guy's gone. These new people are shitheads still, but they don't have the history you had with him.
Right.
You can start over fresh with these new idiots, and you tell them how things are going to go. It's like, they will take him. So we start at like 6 a.m., right? They will put him on after doing our job for the first 3 or 4 hours of the day, they will stick him with a full 9-hour job to do after that.
Oh, Lord. So he's 12-hour days every day.
12, 13-hour days every day without a lunch, without a break, which is against the law.
Oh,
but
that violates a lot of labor
it does,
laws.
but this is how the only way he can get it done in time, because they'll bully him if he doesn't get it done.
See.
See, this is the problem. And I've told him flat out, he sits there and he complains about being exhausted, never having time to do anything, and just being beat into the fucking ground. And I tell him, hey, there's 2 magic fucking letters that'll save your life. N-O. Yep. And he's like, well, I can't tell him no. I was like, watch this. It's like, literally, as we're sitting there talking about it, my boss hits me up to see if I can do this shit today. And I'm like, nope, can't. I was like, sorry. He's like, I got shit to do today.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. I mean, it'd be great if you could. I'd be like, yep, but I can't. He's like, literally, like, is like, can you? And I'm like, nope. Because I know when to shut the door.
Yeah.
I tell them, it's like, hey, I don't have anything going on. I could use a little bit of time. If you got something that needs doing that's not going to kick my ass, I'll go do it. And they're like, okay. And so they will offer, and see, here's the thing, I've got seniority, so they have to offer it to me first over him. Because for a long time, they were just giving him the work without ever asking, and they were cutting my hours back. So I was going broke. And I started fucking filing grievances. And then they're like, well, you can't file grievances. And I was like, yes, I can, because you have to ask. This is how seniority works. But I've been telling him, because now he's in the reverse problem. Now he's not getting any extra work, and he's bitching about it. And I'm like, okay, look, I agree that not having the extra work is that sucks. I get that, because that's my problem. It's like, I'm in the exact same boat as you. I can't get the hours for the exact same reason you can't right now. But the thing is like, where did all the money go that you've made all year long? I guarantee you he's made double what I've made this year.
He's probably blown it.
I mean, but on what? Like, it's like, that's the thing.
Is he married? Does he have
kids?
kids?
He's married. They don't have kids.
There you go.
But they don't do anything. They live in a fucking shit house. They live in a shit trailer out by the lake.
A lot of alcohol.
They have one vehicle. I mean, like, he doesn't drink like he used to, but he gambles. So I'm sure he's gambled away a lot of it. I don't know what he does in his personal life other than when he wants to fight cops.
I'm trying to relate, but even at my old job, I was 16-hour days constantly.
Yeah.
Running that van all over Houston, all over the country.
Yeah.
But I was, for 2 or 3 years, I was the single top grossing driver in the entire state and most of the country.
Yeah.
And I treated it like a job. I was there at the office every single day when they opened, waiting on jobs, getting paperwork squared away. Yeah. And I'd get loaded down for the day.
But also, in a way, you were kind of your own boss.
Yeah.
You weren't under
time,
shitheads.
Because I had that much dedication and I made myself invaluable. I got first choice all the long runs and all the good stuff.
Yeah.
And that was great. But then I go from that, go, to where I am now, where I have, I don't know who my direct report is.
Yeah.
I have no direct report.
Exactly.
So I run my operation as I need to. I load out how I need to.
Yeah.
I talk to the supervisors on shift, and that's about it.
See, that's, when you were telling me about your job, I thought it was already your own thing. I didn't even realize you worked for someone.
Oh, sort of, kind of independent. I'm a 1099 worker.
Yeah, but I'm saying you still have someone somewhere that you have a company.
Yeah, the guy who cuts our checks.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, hold on, pause for a second. Here, let's get this out from under the arm and give you a little bit more room to move.
Okay. But the fellow who cuts our checks, I've never met him.
Yeah. No, and I agree with that. No, so one thing I was getting at is like, you just kind of went at it, was make yourself invaluable. Mm-hmm. But the way I looked at it was make yourself only so valuable that you can have the ability to say no. Yeah. But they'll still come to you. Because there was a point where
I did that at 5:00 every day. Hey, we have this. Nope.
Yeah.
I've been here since 6 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything else. I'm heading home.
Yeah. So in my first 6 years of doing the regular job that nearly killed me, and I don't say that lightly. I mean, literally, I would have died if I kept doing it.
Hell, the only thing they could do to make me, hey, you're going to El Paso. Yep, let's go.
Yeah. So the beat down that I got for 6 fucking years, some of that was gravy. Other part was just...
That was pizza?
No. At my current job. Then I did the full-time hours for 6 years.
There you go.
But it kicked my ass in every level. I was broken in every conceivable way. that's where I learned the value of
trust
being
me.
valuable.
My last job and yours are similar in ways. It's mentally and physically draining to go that hard, that long, every single day.
Yeah, but I was also I was still in my 20s when I started doing it, so I was way better shape than I am now. But the thing about it was, I didn't get a cakewalk. There was a lot of guys who started the same time as me or right after me that they got to stay in one spot and never move, even though it was not supposed to work that way. In my first year on the job, I learned 10 areas. By the end of my second job, I knew 25. It's like, so I could go between any 3 cities of the 7 we serviced and run any given area.
Yeah.
And then they started branching me out into areas I'd never even been to. And I'm like, no. Yeah. It's like, no, I'm not going to fucking do it. I don't want to go there. I'm not doing it.
Well, see, I was the guy they called when things had to go 100% perfect with a critical customer.
Yeah.
And everything had to be done properly, done professionally, done right, no screw ups ever.
Yeah.
And when they had jobs like that, they'd pull me off of everything else, redistribute that, and said, hey, we're going to double you up on this one because we need you and we'll make it up for you tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I get that. But that's the difference, at least the one major difference between your job and mine was that yours was more of an end-to-end situation. Yeah. You were the guy doing the thing. It's like me, I'm just the end of the production line.
Friggin' corporate calls up, hey, we have a customer. This can't go wrong. Okay, Jeff's got it.
So I was more of you're going to go do this day. That was the question at the beginning of the day was, hey, do you got your key map? Mm-hmm. Because if you're on an area long enough, you learn every place you need to go. You don't have to go to the key map for anything. And this was before navigation was widely used anywhere. Like, you had the crazy people who had like TomToms that were bringing them along. Like, I didn't even have a smartphone to be looking shit up when I started. I mean, I had a normal fucking cell phone that didn't even have text messaging yet. You know, that's how fucking early I started that job. But the thing is like, you learn by your key map, or you learn from other people who knew the secret ins and outs.
I still have a key map somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, they're still valuable if you can learn how to read. Yeah,
but I'm not going to drop a new, $50 on a new key map every year.
No, not anymore. I mean, the cities are growing too fast for that.
Yeah,
but the point was,
Google keeps up better.
But back then it was like, hey, we're just like, the problem is I proved that I was good enough at doing the job that they trusted me to go any which where. The other guys, the only outcome I could think was they saw these guys, realized, they're going to only be good at this. They're not going to be good put anywhere else. Mm-hmm. To the point where legitimately, before this guy left our building to go to a different one, he had only been on a single fucking area.
Yeah.
One in the 9 years he was doing the job. Mm-hmm. Nobody fucking gets that benefit ever.
That is just like not even thinking about it anymore.
No, I mean, and the funny thing is like,
do it in his sleep.
Yeah, literally. And it's just, but the thing is, once he moved, he couldn't have that area anymore, but he ended up near his house instead.
We had one particular pickup and drop that was daily, contracted, could not miss. And they kept stomping that on me. And my take home after fuel was like $6.
Yeah.
But it was a trip from the Beltway down to Westheimer.
Oof.
And then nothing else. Westheimer home.
Yeah.
For $6. And I just flat out stopped.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous. I said, screw it. Let it go. Let that contract go.
Yeah.
Because that is so not worth it. Or find someone else
making
to do
the money. Yeah.
So I just started refusing.
Yeah.
So we're not going to get fine. I'm not working for $6.
Yeah. So there was a turning point for me. It was literally like they kept putting me on this particular area, and whenever they would, I would get 30% more work than the guy who actually had that spot. Mm-hmm. Like, he'd be on vacation or whatever for a long time. He was an old timer, so he was gone. He could take off months at a time. Mm-hmm. And I'd have to work that area, and they'd always give me way too much work. And it was the day that I didn't get off till 9:30 at night. And they sent me no help. The only thing they did was send in to get the stuff that I had to get back to the building, but in time.
Yeah.
They just gave to somebody who was already going past me. They're like, hey, just meet up with me here, get my shit, and it's like, okay, cool, and I'll just be out here. It's fine. I didn't take lunch until 8:30. I took lunch at bedtime.
There were some days I didn't catch lunch.
Yeah,
because I usually at 2018 on, I had a dog with me 24/7.
Yeah, so
they did send us Tennessee, or it was somewhere out there in the Smokies.
Yeah,
one of the prettiest drives I've ever made.
Tennessee's kind of pretty.
It really was.
From what I saw of it.
I was in the Suburban. I had a cadaver drop. I had 2 of them, so the big ones, they wouldn't fit in the van.
Oh, great.
So I loaded up the Suburban, stacked bodies, took the HOV.
The fuck?
Prayed I got pulled over, as usual. Dropped those, and he said, hey.
No thanks.
Get a phone call. It's Saturday. He says, hey, you want to go to Tennessee? Yeah. I was right around the corner. They needed printers of all things, custom printers for this custom study they were doing to print labels for test tubes and all that. And they needed them yesterday.
Okay.
So I put 2 big boxes.
Yeah.
I said, can I hit the house? Yeah, I hit the house. Bandit and I grabbed some clothes. We took off.
Well, Bandit didn't need clothes.
Actually, yeah, he had a hoodie. When it's cold, he likes his hoodie. Only a little spoilt.
Yeah.
But there was snow on the ground when we got there.
I guess, yeah, it's that time of year.
Yeah. But we drove through in the dark. Well, we finally got there, 6 a.m., still dark, hit the hospital. Found the guy I needed, gave him the stuff, grabbed a hotel. Coming back, I was just flabbergasted. You ever been to the Smokies?
No.
Beautiful.
I went through the
winding, gorgy roads.
Blue Ridge, basically.
And I said, I missed this last night. Well, I couldn't quit looking around. Then I found a White Castle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I stopped.
White Castle. I wonder which part of Tennessee you were in then.
But
clearly not where we were.
But yeah, we had about one of everything.
Yeah. Well, like
we had a huge bag, and I was munching. The dog was munching. It was great.
If I hadn't got with Jessica, assuming I didn't off myself, I probably would have gotten into some type of hotshot work, long distance hot.
It's fun.
Basically just by myself.
Long distance is where the money is.
But I would have no friends. I'd be have no hobbies. I probably wouldn't have an anchor at all. I'd just be out.
Hi, have we met?
Yeah, you. Yeah, you're fucking weird.
I have friend.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't know you likely.
Right.
Well, like I said, if I wasn't dead, I'd probably just be doing something alone where I don't interact with anybody. Probably just isolate completely.
There's a lot to be said for that, especially when you're like in
but there's no one to hear it.
Well, if you're lost,
that's the point.
If you're lost, being by yourself like that gives you time to figure shit out.
Yeah, or send you further and further down the negative zone, which is probably where I'd be.
I just got tired of being gone so long and missing family. I was ready to be home.
By the time Jessica and I got together, I barely had any friends at all. Like I'm still in the rebuilding process.
How long have y'all been together now?
9 years.
Oh, wow.
Wait, 9? 8 technically. Wait, no, 2015. Yeah, 9 years. Had to think about that. I was like, yeah, how long have we been together again? So, but either way.
Speaking of
what?
That Monday of my anniversary, the 14th
of what month?
This.
Okay.
I'm not going to be here.
Fine.
Yeah. Dad's
next week, you mean?
Yeah, Dad's actually swapping with me, and he's covering Monday, and I'll just come back Tuesday.
Okay. Well, I'll either cover for you or we'll move it to a different day.
Or we could do Tuesday.
Okay.
I think if I get home in time. We're thinking about getting out of town for a little while.
Yeah.
Well, just overnight.
Just let me know.
Oh, or holler at Will or Jordan.
Yeah. Well, Jordan's schedule's too fucking random. Will, I could probably manage.
Okay.
Or I'd grab Andre or something. We'll see. I'll plan ahead for that. I'll reach out tonight, see if anybody.
But yeah, that's 18 years, so I kind of want to do something nice for it.
Too long, some would say. I'm just kidding.
Or not long enough.
I'll just
maybe it takes that long to figure yourself out.
Well, you probably have a reset about every 7 or 8 years.
We do.
Where you guys have to fucking.
Well, we've been battling, working on. I've actually been putting in a lot of work on the marriage and trying to establish the hardest hurdle to overcome is I'm working with Lucas and Amy, trying to establish better habits before we get into a new home.
Yeah.
And if they can't, fuck it.
You can go live in your tower.
Exactly.
Look, I already know what the tower is for. I was like, I get it. It's Jeff's home. Like, Yeah, I think things would be different for y'all.
Tower of Madness.
Yeah.
He's just mad.
Yeah, I think things would be different for y'all if you didn't have the apartment to escape to.
True. That's 100% true. It's getting an out between this and the extra jobs and everything. I spend about half the week at the apartment now.
Yeah, so it's like you're never home, which is also half the problem.
It is, but
For
sometimes
both ends of the problem, not being there is the problem. Yeah. It's like just looking at it from the outside and knowing it's.
But sometimes the peace and quiet's so nice.
Yes, I spend all day alone. How do I? Yes, I completely. Like Jessica and I almost don't live together. It's fucking crazy. Like because I leave right before she wakes up, so I see her before she gets up, but she doesn't see me most mornings.
Yeah.
You know, the weekends we only have half the weekend because I work most of Saturday usually, which finally I got a real Saturday in. But like so we get Saturday afternoon, which we generally sleep. We get Sunday, which half of that is for church and then probably sleeping, if not doing chores. So we never get to go do things together. Monday nights I'm at men's group. Tuesday night she's in a ladies group.
Well, that's
Wednesday night, who knows?
That's what became so evident to me this weekend. I forgot what it was like to date my wife.
Yeah.
And we finally had a date.
Yeah.
And start dating your wife again, buddy.
Well, we do. We just don't do it that we need to find more time because we because we have so here's the problem. This week I'm supposed to be on vacation, but because nothing fucking worked out, like my money's been shit, the settlement was cut into third. You know, so basically we were supposed to take this whole ass vacation and go somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Now you're just working to keep.
Basically, I'm doing my normal vacation thing. I'm working except for Saturday. Saturday, we're going to the Renaissance. But she took off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Monday because she was expecting a long-ass fucking weekend vacation that, and even up until last week, she's like, okay, so are you taking off? I'm like, no. It's like, my money has been shit. It's like, she's rolling in it right now, as long as she doesn't fucking spend it all.
Bye-bye.
But it's like, I've told her, I was like, look, I've not been getting hours. It's like they've been doing almost everything in their power to fuck me over lately. Not on purpose. It's just they don't. But even on days like Friday.
Well, I know you're busy. I know they're busy.
They're busy, but the problem is that we're short on vehicles. So therefore, if my vehicle is needed for other things, which it has been for the last month and a half.
Put your foot down. You got the seniority.
But it doesn't matter. If my vehicle's not mine, my vehicle is theirs.
Yeah.
There's other people that have to fucking work. So if I have no say in that, you know. But the thing is, Friday there was no reason. There was no reason for me to not get extra hours on Friday, but they didn't give me any. I ended up with a couple extra, but not much. Saturday I had a clusterfuck to deal with that wasn't my fault, but then I caused a problem due to that clusterfuck, which ended up giving me more hours. Which they're probably going to ream me for. They'll probably be like, you were stealing time. You did this on purpose. I'm like, no, you guys have been.
How do you steal time when you're working your ass off?
Because, well, the only thing they'll say is there was no reason for me to drive back and forth between this particular location twice. And I'll be like, the only thing I'm going to tell them, you guys have put so much pressure on these guys that they make mistakes, including myself. There's too much pressure to rush out of the fucking building because you're like, well, you got to go. So shit gets left behind. Nobody notices. I noticed. I ended up having to fucking try to fix it. And that caused problems for me. So the extra time and miles that I got Saturday were entirely on them.
So here's the thing. Had you not fixed it, would you have gotten in trouble?
No.
There you go.
Yeah. It was put on me to fix it.
Oh, someone. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So if we had a proper management team on Saturdays, because we're running Skeleton Crew Saturday. So if we had a proper management team to fix the problem, if we weren't rushing people, making them feel like they got to fucking go, save every fucking minute possible, that mistake wouldn't have been made. Mm-hmm. But also, had I rushed out of the building faster, I wouldn't have been there to fix the problem. It would have been on someone else.
Go.
So if I was actually in go mode, I wouldn't have had to deal with it. I was actually trying to figure out a different situation, so I was running a little bit behind. And so I discovered the problem, and I went, hey, deal with this. And they're like, okay, you go take it. I'm like, that's not what I meant. They're like, just call the guy. You're going to be near him. I'm like, fuck. Okay. And then I drove past him trying to deal with my shit because, you know, we got time sensitive stuff to deal with.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I've got to get this stuff done. So I went out there, and then when I was done with that, like I'm literally like 20 miles past.
And you're not going to drive by airmail it.
Yeah, exactly. So I had by the time did get a hold of him, he was deep into his fucking area. And like, fuck. Oh, okay, I got plenty of time to get to you. By the time I got to him, I just handed him the wrong thing. It's like,
really?
Yeah. Because it was they were sitting next to my stuff. So when I picked it up to give it to him, I didn't realize I grabbed my shit and left some of his behind. So I gave him something of mine that I was supposed to do. He didn't look at it. I didn't look at it because once again, we're in a fucking hurry because he's now waiting on me to find him. I'm rushing because now I'm way out of where I'm supposed to be just to meet him. And so now I'm rushing. I get all the way back on track where I'm supposed to fucking be. Realize, fucker. The thing that I just gave him was the thing I was going to go do.
Well, then stay in your own lane now. Don't help. Don't just
well,
do you.
I mean, if they come down on me at all, that's what I'll say. I'd be like, look, I had to put out a fire that wasn't mine to deal with in the fucking first place. Mm-hmm. It's like, so next time, I'm not going to help you at all. It's like, that's what it's going to come down to. It's like, it's not like I'm trying to steal hours. It was an honest mistake. And I'll tell them flat out, it's like, you guys have got to stop rushing us.
Yeah.
We're making fucking mistakes.
5 extra minutes would make all the difference.
For 5 extra minutes, they will throw a fucking fit. That's how ridiculous it's gotten. They are penny pinching everywhere. Mm-hmm. And the fact that Saturdays have been so different for the last month, I haven't been getting hours because the reason I would get hours isn't there.
See, that's why I'm digging where I'm at now. No stress, nothing. Until it is, and then it's really bad.
so the only stress I have is the lack of hours where I used to. Saturday was my cake day. I had time to get my shit done.
Hell,
sit and wait, and then
I finally got an issue resolved at work. The only issue I've had, one of the managers came to me and said they've had a bunch of employees stay after their shift, drink beer in the parking lot, and hang out.
Yeah, you can't have that.
No, and
we used to do that.
We've been running through it, and I finally the straw that broke the camel's back was one dude got lit, drove home and got in an awful accident.
Oh shit!
And then they came down on everybody, big meetings, and the night shift supervisor basically asked me.
So wait, is this your employment or the place you go to work at?
The place I go to work at. The employees of the facility.
That makes sense. I've seen their parking lot. I understand.
But yeah, so I finally, after 3 or 4 contacts with these individuals and talking to them and explaining where I'm come from, I said, guys, I'm not here to get anybody fired. I'm not here to screw with anybody.
Yeah.
I'm here to do what the managers tell me to do, just like your managers are telling you.
Yeah.
I said,
actually, my managers are coming to tell me to deal with you.
I said, man, I am not.
You are a liability.
Yeah,
get the fuck out.
Well, I told him, I said, guys, if we can't handle this on our level here right now in this parking lot, my next step is start taking down names, taking pictures, taking video, and I'm not a fucking snitch. I don't want to do any of that.
Yeah.
So you do your job, let me do mine. And since then, it's been great.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, we used to have.
Of course, it kind of helped. I roll up. I was full geared out, had my drop holster on, had my big dog next to me.
Well, you know what's funny? We used to do similar things, not in the parking lot, but outside of our workplace. And it would be the usual, like Friday nights.
Yeah.
Friday night, because Saturday didn't exist. So, like Friday nights, everybody gets off work. Somebody rolls out a fire pit or the barbecue pit on a trailer, and we all fucking hang out and we're drinking mildly. And then too many people caused issues and it had to stop. And that actually hurt the fellowship between the employees.
Yeah.
Like now, like I used to be close friends with a lot of the guys who I came up with in the job. And now I only see them at work. I don't talk to them outside of work. Nothing. All the guys I became friends with or was friends with even before they came to work with us. Don't talk to them. Don't see them. Don't have connection with fucking anybody at work anymore. Like none of my coworkers, outside of like if I have an issue and I got to contact them for whatever reason, that's it. Like with the exception of one, which due to Copperhead, he would call us to come to their Halloween party because they usually have a huge like block party, Halloween party. And I was the only fucking coworker at all that I've remote contact with outside of work, and it's only because of Copperhead. And it's the only time I see him now because they don't even invite us out.
Right.
So it's weird to have lost that. Even with the 2 other guys that I fucking have in my job, we don't hang out.
We had that when I first started at the county. Sergeant, she was awesome sergeant. But when we got off after our long week, we had 3 days weeks and 4 day weeks.
Yeah.
The Wednesday on the 4th week, we do what we call debriefing, and we'd all go down to Margarita's, make sure we didn't have our uniform shirts on.
Yeah.
And sit there and have beer, eat a little bit, goof off, and chit chat for a couple hours.
Margaritas on the Loop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a blast.
I haven't been there in a long time.
We got banned. We literally got grounded from going to a particular bar.
Yeah.
Because we got involved in a brawl.
Dumbass.
And I said, Sergeant, are you saying we're grounded? She said, yes, each and every one of you were fucking grounded.
Our people had an unsanctioned Christmas party at BW3's and got kicked out.
Nice.
And half of them were banned. At least the very particular issue person got banned for life. Thank God, because she was a fucking what. Either way.
What? Thundercunt? What?
Yeah, I just didn't want to say it out loud.
I will.
Yeah, you can. It's fine. But either way, she went off to go be someone else's problem a few years ago, so I don't have to worry about her anymore. But this is a woman.
You don't have to get into it. If
I'm going to pause.
I'm
going to pause because I have to be specific. Sorry, guys. I'm going to pause to tell him this story. All right, so yeah, that'll give you an idea how gross she is.
Right.
So, or was, I should say. I have no idea of where she ended up. All I know is that most people hated her, and then she got kicked out of a few places, both professionally and non-professionally, just because of attitude problems and or drinking problems.
Oh, wow.
Or personal hygiene problems sometimes.
Or just general sluttiness.
That too. Well, depending on who the slut was being directed towards, yes. Either way, so that's about it for today. I think. I know we just kind of rambled on about.
We
life
did
and
ramble.
whatnot. We didn't have much to talk about,
guys. We'll do better next week. No, we won't.
Yeah.
I won't.
Yeah, exactly. But as I was saying, I'm just throwing that nod in there. So, guys, make sure you do the like and subscribe thing to here on this channel, either on the YouTubes or the Rumbles. Or if you're listening to us on any other platform, make sure you hit whatever follow button or like. Leave ratings for us, especially if you're on iTunes.
Yeah, follow us on
helps.
Facebook. We're happy to talk with you, interact.
You can do that. Yeah, that's fun. Yep. Well, unless you're a fake scammer person trying to sell me on selling the podcast to you, don't contact me for that, please.
No. Contact me. I'll ignore you.
I want to know why so many people in Bangladesh want to know where my podcast is. That's fucking weird. But I've been getting good about putting out the promos on YouTube and on Instagram.
Well, so I don't know if you've noticed. Every time you drop something there, I've been.
I know you share it for sure. So we've seen decent growth from what I've noticed.
Really?
No more. We haven't gotten more subscribers lately, but we're getting more views.
So we're plus like 12.
But I think it also helps that some of the last couple episodes have had no real major problematic things talked about early on, because because normally I'm used to like 10 views over the weekend, and I think the last episode had like 25 views, so that was good.
So maybe by the time we're ready to retire, we might actually.
Shit. No, it's just once YouTube stops censoring fucking everything.
Well, that's never gonna happen.
Well, it will eventually. It's like they'll get to a point where they stop censoring shit because new people will be in charge. Yeah, something about the First Amendment,
Yeah,
it needs to apply to everywhere. Yeah,
equally. Yeah,
equally. That'd be great. So, all right, guys, we will see you next week, or at least I will. I don't know where Jefe will be.
Hey,
but
thanks for showing up. I'll see y'all in a couple weeks.
Yeah, in theory, or you'll be here next week, anyways. We'll see.
We'll see how the weekend goes.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. We'll see if you come back. So,
right.
All right, guys, and remember as always. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
I forgot how to end the fucking show. I was like, wait, wrong show. Remember,
Tally-ho!
Remember as always is the other show. Well, the funny thing is both my SHOKY stuff, and then the It Doesn't Have to Make Sense stuff was Remember As Always. This is the only show that's supposed to be end with that.
We got to figure something else.
No, it's fine.
No.